Yo, use up. We just live now, yeah? Come on. Say nothing. It's G Block in this bitch. You get me?
G to the
You
block.
ready to
Vision.
rumble?
Okay. So is
You
it
hear me?
easy?
In the black corner. You say, in the black corner, we got
Yep.
the black select. In the other
Hey, big
black
up.
corner, we got Ziriyab. Yo, come on, you know how we do, man. It's G Block in this bitch. This one's the debate before the debate. You get me? To the debate to see who knows what they're talking about. Like, even I don't know what we're talking about now still. You get me? So this is the debate before the debate to the debate to see who knows what they're talking about. You get me?
Got
It's G
popcorn
Black
and
in
drink.
this bitch. Yeah, it's mad still, man. Big up Ziriyab. He's dropped off quickly. Let me quickly put the link in the chat just in case he's lost that right now. Nah, man, you need to change that one, bruv. It's G Block 49-0, bruv. Come on, we're like Mayweather out here, cuz. You get me? We undefeated, son. We undefeated, son. Yeah, man. So, big up, Ahmed, my G. You get me? Pass through on the panel, first time in G Block and all that, cuz. Big up yourself, fam. Yeah, but
I think you know what I want to see, Veli, is a debate between Ziriab and Ahmed, because I think that you know, the kind of thing that Ahmed's coming with the Quran is ex-Sunni situation. So most of the arguments are about Bukhari, although obviously we're going to have some things which are, you know, because they come at my interpretation of the Quran is wrong and so on. But I think I would like to see it because I've seen Ahmed versus Shamsi, and yeah, I would like to see Ahmed versus Ziriab at some point. You know what I mean? So and also we have Now or Never, the Hebrew, obviously still hurting from yesterday. Although I didn't debate him, he was hurting from the blows that Ezra got, and obviously Ezra hasn't even woken up yet because we ain't heard or seen nothing from Ezra today. We just got other Hebrews who felt the blows, and their God obviously still flying around on chariots and winged cherubim, and maybe he's still stuck in his golden box called the Ark of the Covenant. Who knows where the Hebrew God is? You know what I mean? But big up to the family anyway.
yeah, trust me. But yeah, a couple man in the chat want to debate you now. All Now or Never wants to debate you. Still got the Jacob. Still like you keep
No,
getting him
that's
vexed
what I was
with this
talking about.
cherub thing. That cherub
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
yeah, you're getting him hot underneath the collar B. He's like, nah, I need to debate this now. You know what I
But
mean?
but think about it.
So,
Think you're gonna need a metal box to if your God is flying around on the cherub, yeah, you're gonna need to communicate with him through a metal box to see where it is. It's just like an airplane. When it take off, it has to communicate with the airport. You get what I'm saying?
oh,
So you need to find out how long before he comes in. they, their God is like our genie in a lamp. Remember, you rub the lamp here. You rub the lamp. Their God comes up in a pillar of smoke, just like the genie, and it's in a metal container. We have a lamp. They have a metal box, and they rub the metal box, and then God comes out and grants them free wishes or something. You know what I mean? But then their God says, "Don't make any graven images." Then tells them to make graven images. Then beat the hell out of them for making the graven images. This is some weird God, man. We have to stop with this crazy
hey,
God.
where's Ziriab,
Yeah.
man? Yo, Ziriab, you need
Yes.
to jump back on, man,
It-
because I got to jump off in a sec still, man. I'm gonna leave you, man, to the debate. I'm gonna be
So
listening
every
for
time
YouTube
I tell
still,
you,
man.
James Jones needs, he really needs some size 10 boots in his backside. He always coming up with me versus Issa. How come black people save Mecca? You know, this guy's a idiot. James, just have a coconut smile, bro. Have a coconut smile, as what's his name? Eddie Murphy said to what's his name?
Mic check, mic check. Can you not hear me, yo?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
hear you
yeah.
now,
We can
cuz.
hear you.
You can hear me now, yeah? Finally.
Oh shit, is that Somali
Yeah,
Ahmed, yeah? The Maverick, yeah?
We
yeah,
done
man.
now. What you
It was
saying,
Listen,
fam?
Somali Ahmed.
what we're gonna do, yeah?
Somali
We're
Ahmed.
gonna chat.
Ah
We're gonna
What you
make
shit.
this
saying,
like
Famalan?
we're gonna make this a freeway chat, yeah. But obviously, obviously you man a big man in it, yeah. So man's not really gonna have to. Man's not. Ahmed's gonna try and moderate as much as he can, yeah. Like, but
Jesus,
I'm gonna
Esau,
be
stop moving
watching
the
from
fucking
YouTube.
laptop.
Bal,
Fuck.
bal, 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 bal. Hey, how can
Yeah,
I can't
but
even hear.
I sorry, cause I had to mute you for a sec, cause your thing when you move your laptop, it makes a mad noise. Yeah, but when we All right, so we're gonna have a little conversation. It's the debate before the debate, but obviously we got Somali Maverick Ahmed here as well now. So obviously like he's on. It's like a three-way thing now, ain't it? Like a triangle right now still. So yeah, you got the Black Tedek on one side, the Ziriyab on one side, and Ahmed on another side still, but all sort of repping the same thing in it. So it'll be good
Wait,
to
hold
have
on. Are they
like
from different schools of thought, Veli? Because I
yeah,
know
well,
she is a Sunni, Issa's a Shia. Fucking Ahmed is a Quranist. What about Ziria? What's his position?
He's a Sunni,
Ziriyab's leaning
goddammit.
more towards the Sunni. Yeah.
Oh
So
shit! That's a
No,
good
no,
panel.
no. Hold on,
That's
hold
a
on,
good
hold on, guys.
panel. Oh,
Wait, man.
then
Stop,
for the
stop, stop, stop.
well, yeah.
Stop.
Ziriyab. Let me build on that. Yeah, obviously for the purposes of the conversation today, yeah, you're repping the Sunni side, innit? Because like just for the purposes of this debate, innit? Like obviously you don't describe yourself as a Sunni Muslim. You just describe yourself as a Muslim,
Yeah,
innit? I've never heard you
yeah.
describe yourself as a sect, innit? But for the
Yeah,
purposes of
exactly. Big up, big up.
today, like yeah, you're repping the Sunni side, innit? Yeah, so yeah, and even that for that, like you're saying, for that, yeah, it helps us out with the you get me with the debate thing,
Yeah.
innit? So it makes it like
What? The thing is, the Issa's failed before he started because the whole thing I caught it earlier. Yeah, is trying to make out like quote unquote that Shiism somehow gives you more license for intellectual freedom than Sunniism does. So he's definitely failed because I'm
No,
I'm repping the
I
Sunni
didn't
side
say that.
and
I didn't say that, bro.
you
This is the
did
problem.
say that, Dad.
No. You need to listen carefully. I said the Islam of the Quran. This is the problem. You need to listen. Don't take the words I say, put my words aside, and then quote your own garbage over me.
You
But anyway, let's not argue. I make it very clear. I'm representing the Islam of the Quran, which is in.
yeah. Hold on here because I'm gonna jump off in a sec. Yeah, I'm gonna let Brothers on as well. Yeah, so Brothers and Ultras gonna try and moderate. Yeah, obviously Abdul Malik is sort of with the Shia side. Yeah, so yeah,
Yes.
you got yeah. I'm coming up now. Yeah, you got a little bit of a backup there still. So like saying, obviously I need to jump off, man. You get me? I got fucking people waiting for me and all that. So. But anyway, you lot do your thing, and yeah, man, just keep it respectful. Let each other finish your sentences. Try not to get too excited, and gang, innit, man? Alright.
Do us a favor though, Vel. Yeah, you're gonna need to moderate it because I guarantee you people will
Yeah,
get in their feelings.
Ultra, and Brad's gonna moderate in it. Yeah, basically what it is once the person's muted their mic, then the next person's gonna come in and answer the question, whoever the question has been put to, or whatever. Yeah.
So what? This is basically it's a free flowing conversation, isn't it? It's not no time thing.
Yeah, free flowing conversation, and then yeah.
Hold on.
Just let each other finish though.
Yeah, with some decorum and that. Yeah, cool.
Hold on. Veli, let me.
Listen, I need to jump off though, man, because obviously I've taken much longer than I needed to take in it. Like I say.
Yeah, man. Let him go, man. Let him go. Go true, man. Go true, Veli, man.
All right. So basically, what this is, as it's titled, is the debate before the debate. Me and Ziriyab have had a discussion before about a debate that's supposed to come up. Ziriyab said yes. I said yes. Obviously, Ziriyab's been busy or something. It's been a period of busy time. So it's. I guess our conversation shouldn't take that long. It's just to agree again, Ziriyab, that we're going to debate. I think you want
No, none of that.
Hello?
To be like, let's not even rehash what's happened in it. Those who know. Don't try and put a spin on it. Yeah, forget. It's a clean page. There's about 1, 2. It sounds like there's 3 participants, possibly 4 participants in this conversation. Let's just show we can have an adult conversation and discuss and put forward ideas and debate.
Stop. Don't interrupt. You don't like people interrupting you. You interrupted me. I'm talking about the label on the. Can you read it? You're supposed to be good at Arabic. You're good at English. I'll read it for you. It says Ziriyab versus Isa. the debate before the debate. Not is Issa, Ahmed, James, all these other people in the thing. So let's just get our thing out the way. Discussion, the discussion before the debate, and then you lot can go into whatever subjects you want, right? So all I'm saying is for people listening, for them to be clear, me and Ziriyab already had a discussion that we're going to have a debate in regards to Aisha being my claim an enemy of Allah according to the Quran and even Hadith. And then he said he wants to put forth his criticism or his refutation of 12 Shia, as he calls it, and my version of the Islam of the Quran. So these are the two things we agreed upon last time. We have not had the opportunity to deal with these in a debate, a proper debate forum or pattern, etc. Simple as that. No arguing. It's just simple. Do you agree with that, Ziriyab, or not?
No, I disagree with that because last time we had the conversation. Yeah, I don't know if James is in the chat. I could see his comment is posted, but he was in the chat. He'll attest to this chain of events. But I'm really not trying to get bogged down. Long story short, I finished up the first conversation. We agreed to 3 conversations. One on what is true Islam. That's that conversation we had. I put forward my perspective. You put forward your perspective. We had a back and forth. We wrapped it up. Done. Then you wanted to have a discussion about. You wanted to basically bring up the Aisha discussion. I agree with that, and I was like, yeah, cool, no problem. On the condition that the third conversation, and this is all timed debates. These are all timed debates, discussions, whatever you want to call it. The third discussion would be my criticism of 12 Shi'ism. And yeah, we agreed on that as well. So yeah, cool. We don't. That's it. That's that conversation done and out the way. New page. You know, there's, as I say, there's about 3 or 4 participants in this conversations. Can we show ourselves capable of having a free-flowing conversation on the general topic of Islam? That's how I see it right now. I don't know if Ahmed wants to jump in. Come on, listen, stop it. Listen, listen.
Ziriyab, wait.
Just stop it, man. Listen.
Ziriyab,
you stop. You get me? What are you trying to hog the conversation for, man?
Hey, Issa, let me finish.
Let someone else jump in, man. This is the point. As far as I'm concerned, yeah, our thing is done. That page is over. Let's bring in the other participants in this conversation and continue that convo. Like, I don't understand why he's getting so stuck on himself right now.
Brad. No. Wait.
Go ahead.
Ziriyab, have you said your piece yet? You good, man? Like you said?
Yes. Bring other people into the conversation. Yes.
Go ahead, Issa. Now.
Right. Brad, I want you to listen to what I just said.
Issa, 1 second though. If he ever starts talking again, I want you to mute up. Okay, Ziriyab, if you don't mind muting up for me, brother. Just, fair is fair. All right. So go ahead, Issa.
Okay. I want you to please pay attention to what I just said at the beginning. I mentioned what we were discussing here. Ziriyab said no. Okay. That wasn't the case. I let him speak. Then I repeated it again. And then he agreed. We agreed to have these 2 debates. And then he's talking about a new page. The whole point of this new setup here was for us to agree on another debate, the same 2 subjects that we're supposed to be debating. Now, the question is he agreeing to debate those 2 subjects, or has he studied something that's made him got shook and has decided...
So Issa, that's where you mess up at, because he literally just said he wanted to have a free-flowing conversation.
Bruv, no, you're not, Brad, you're not listening.
He already agreed to all 3. He already agreed to the other subjects.
Yeah, man. Brad, trust me. Respect the moderator, man. Chill out, bruv. Chill out. We respect the moderator. You get me? Have some respect, man.
Ziriyab, shut your mouth. Brad,
have some respect, man. Have some respect. No, stop it, man. Stop trying to dictate the convo, bruv. Like, it's so jarring, man. It's proper jarring, bruv. Hey, you get me? No, you shut up. You shut up. You shut up.
I love the way Brent
we haven't even started the debate, and we're already shouting at each other. This is so crazy, bro.
Read the title.
What the fuck?
Read the title, Ultra.
No, wait. Hold on, guys. 1 second. Fuck's sake. We haven't even started the debate, and we're already telling each other to shut up. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I heard someone say it's jarring. I agree, bro. We're big fucking grown men. Let's have a discussion. Let's choose a topic. Issa and Ziriyab, we're going to choose a topic. You're going to discuss it. We're going to hash it out. But this is nonsense.
No, Ultra, outing is done. With Ultra, we've already done outing. Look, outing is for a future event. We've already finished the fact that we've got 2 more debates upcoming, yeah, to be confirmed on whatever platform, and the format for it. I'm happy with the format we done on the first debate. Shaka can moderate. That's chapter done. New page means new conversation, free flowing. Everyone who's in the chat can get involved. This guy just loves to talk about himself. I don't understand why people, even Brad clocked it. So big up Brad. Yeah, have some respect for the moderators. Let's bring in the other participants in this conversation.
Right. So
listen,
as I was saying,
you see this, Ultra. You see this, though. You get me? It comes from one direction, and it gets responded to the same. You shut up. You wallet.
Wally, you little waste. You're not even black. Ziriyab is funny. Shut up, bro.
Ridiculous.
Right, Brad, are you listening? Brad,
go ahead, bro.
Ultra, moderate the
listen
place,
to what I'm saying. Bruv, listen. I want you to listen carefully. When I said this is no, Brad, I want you to listen.
Yeah.
What Veli said was we're gonna have a pre-debate discussion, which is between me and him. Right? That's why he labeled the show that. So how the hell am I just gonna not let him confirm? He said no to it. So then I'm gonna inquire. Then what was the point of this setup? That's the whole point I'm making, bro. Now he said he agrees. We've got 2 other debates and we've confirmed what they're about. Now move on to whatever the hell you want. That's the whole point, and that's it. Simple. Thank you.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Just so we're on the same page.
He's a proper weirdo, you know.
Because Issa, you're saying Veli named the show something, and you'd like to adhere to that. Is that what you're saying?
Well, obviously, otherwise, what the hell would you label it that in the first place?
Okay.
Hold on.
Wait, Issa, wait, Issa, listen. All right, so you're saying Veli labeled the show something, you'd like to adhere to it. I'm gonna ask Ziriyab now. I need you to stay quiet for a second. Ziriyab, Issa's point is Veli named the show Issa Ziriyab, the debate before the debate. So what I think Issa's saying is at this juncture, he wants to talk to just you.
No, that's done. No, it's finished with Ultra. We've already
you have hearing problems. He said you need to stay quiet because he's questioning me. He's asking me the question. So shut your mouth. You get me? Mute your mic. You get me?
Focus on me.
You get me?
Focus on me.
Yeah. Shut up, Isa. Ultra, ask me a question. Have some blood clot impulse control. You
We're not in
You're a little boy, man. You're a little boy. Anyways, Ultra.
Ultra.
Yeah.
Stop this.
No, some people have impulse control. Some people don't. Stop trying to get his attention. He asked me a question. You get me? He asked me a question. So I'm gonna answer his question. Ultra. Now to answer your question,
Issa, do me a favor, Issa. Just let me speak to Ziriyab. I spoke to you. Ziriyab didn't interrupt. So just go on mute for like a second.
Ultra,
simple. Trust me. No, you know.
No, Issa, you have to wait, brother. Listen.
No, Ultra,
yeah, man. Learn. You're gonna have to learn. You're gonna learn. Learn your manners, man. You get me?
Wait. Ziriyab.
Learn your manners, man.
Ziriyab, you're not helping. Ziriyab, can you?
Yeah, Ultra, I can. As soon as he stops.
No.
Stops squeaking.
Wait. Ziriyab. Chill.
Yeah.
Second. Chill.
Yeah.
Issa, when I asked you a question, I made sure that we was on the same page. I asked you to clarify your position, and I put it to Ziriyab in my own little sexy way. Okay?
Now, no, you didn't. You didn't.
Wait. Hold on, Issa. Wait. Right. Now, all I need you to do is just go on mute for like 15 seconds. Let me ask Ziriyab something. And so we don't get wires crossed, I'm gonna come back to you.
I remember your question.
And we're gonna
I remember your question anyway.
Ultra.
Perfect.
I remember your question anyway, Ultra. I don't think he can do it though. I don't think he can mute for 15 seconds.
Right.
It's not possible, is it, Lisa? Please, don't contribute. It's not possible.
Ultra.
Clearly.
All right.
Ultra, what you
Issa,
thinking?
Issa. Yeah,
No. What? I don't get this. He can't just fucking force his way to the conversation. Allow
He's
it.
not.
Learn your
No,
manners. Yeah. Get in line, man. Get in line. You weren't asked the question. You were asked the question. You answered it. Yeah. Yeah. Now it's my turn. So
time out,
get
though.
in line.
What's that? Yo,
No.
Ziriyab.
Issa, shut your mouth.
Whoa. Shout
Bro,
out.
you wouldn't
Shout
say
out.
that to my face.
Over 3 hours,
Stop it,
and we
man.
didn't start yet.
Shout out to the fact that Ziriyab's mic is
Can we
amazing,
start, please?
by the way. But let's.
Is what?
It's amazing because your mic is
I know.
really loud this time. I can hear that.
Yeah, he needs to allow it. He can't talk over me.
Wait, Ziriyab.
Yeah, trust me. Hey, listen. He proper. No. Long story short, yeah, I was asked a question by Ultra. I'm going to answer that question, and then he can go back. Like he's proper narcissistic. He has narcissistic tendencies. He always wants to be center of attention and all of that. Yeah. Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah,
But can you get in line?
Wait.
Yeah, cool.
Now you're the aggressor.
All
Now
right.
stop.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Good.
I didn't. Yeah. Cool. Is he muted though? All right. Cool. So Ultra. Long story short,
Ziriyab, wait.
Yeah.
Like back away from your mic, like 15 inches.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that any better?
Wonderful. That's wonderful.
Is that better? Yeah.
Wonderful.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
better.
wonderful.
All right. So what was I saying? Yeah, to respond to your question quickly, Ultra. All of this is a farce. It's a farcical, and it's just a way in which he like continues to stay in the center of the picture. Long story short, Ultra. Me, him, and Shaka agreed. I think it was like Boxing Day, or it might have been Christmas. I don't know.
Mute, man. We can't hear nothing.
So
talks, we can't hear shit.
Yeah, Ultra. Long story short, as I say, me, him, and Shaka already agreed when we had the first conversation. The only reason we had that first conversation is because we agreed on the 3 topics, on the terms of on the terms as in like how we're going to interact, what format the discussion or debate is going to take place. So what I'm saying to you is, brother, that's already been done. You see this pre and all of that. Even on the last show, yeah, Valley was like, oh, you guys are going to talk about talking again. You're going to kind of debate about the pre-debate. You see what I'm saying? This is just Issa's fault. This is completely Issa's doing. So I'm saying, let's stop longing it out. Yeah. We've already agreed to the terms way back. We've already agreed on the terms, on the topic, on how it's going to look. That was already done. This was unnecessary. And it's just delaying from actually having a conversation about some type of substance. Does that make sense, Ultra?
I won't lie to you, brother. It was clear and it was loud. Fuck's sake, it was loud. It was loud, very loud, and it was clear. I understand what you're saying. Now, one thing I will say, if you allow me to respond to you, is there anything that you and Issa can discuss today that won't lead to ad hominems? And
no. Yeah. See, I don't think there's any point in there's no point in us having a back and forth or two-way conversation when there's about 3 or 4 different people in the chat. As I said at the outset,
Ziriyab. Okay, wait.
In my view,
hold on.
Let me just finish. It's the last thing I'm going to say. Last sentence. In my view, I think it's much healthier to have a free, as I said, I even confirmed it with Belly before he left, to have a free-flowing conversation, yeah, about all things Islam or politics or whatever we want to talk about. But I'm saying let's have that conversation and free-flowing. Obviously, it's not going to be time. It's not going to be nothing. So let's just have that conversation. Let's stop beating around the bush.
Okay, can we start then?
No, hold on, Ultra.
Okay, Ziriyab, I understand. Now, Issa, come in now. Come in.
Right. So the first thing I want to complain about, Ultra, is your absolute useless skills at moderating. Number 1.
You're welcome.
Hold on. Number 2.
I'm sorry. It's something I will work on, my brother. If you forgive me.
So
I'm new to the game.
What I'm saying. Okay. So this guy came in and said, we've already discussed it. So that's already done. Page, move on. What I'm saying to you is, in the discussion before, me and Veli and him, Veli already said he's going to set up this show with this title. So I'm saying the whole point was just to announce and agree, to have him to agree, so people know we're due 2 debates, and that's it. Now we can move on. But first, when I said it, he said no. So now he's agreed, we can move on, right? So that's the first point, Ultra Funky. The second point is simply this. I'm not really interested in a discussion with him without rules and so on, so they can discuss. And him and Ahmed, I hope, can get on with their discussion or debate here. I'm not really interested in a non-organized debate or discussion with Ziriyab. Obviously, he's got some fears or whatever's wrong with him. That's fine. What my point is simply this, brother. I don't want to make it personal, like he seems to make it personal. I followed the rules, which was to have a debate before the debate, which was basically a discussion about what we're going to debate about. But he's already agreed. These are the two subjects about Aisha being the enemy of Allah and his criticism of 12 Ashiyam as it is, which is being the Islam of the Quran. These are the two things that he's agreed to debate with me, with Shakara, inshallah, being the moderator. Now that page has turned. Now let them discuss whatever they want to discuss. I am generally out of it because I need rules and structure. So if you lot think that somebody else wants to jump in, that's fine. I don't mind listening and watching. But as I said before, I would like to see Ziriyab and Ahmed have a discussion, considering that Ahmed has discussed with people like Shamsi and other Orthodox Sunnis. Because Ziriyab is not an Orthodox Sunni, I would like to see how Ahmed and Ziriyab interact, and you lot could be the moderators. Thank you.
All right. So I hear you.
I'm definitely focusing on Shiism now.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Big up all the guys, the Shias, the Sunnis, the Quranists, the Sufis, the Kafirs, the Christians, the Sikhs, the Hindus, the Buddhists, the Zoroastrians, the Hare Krishnas. Yeah, big up everyone in it. All right. So basically, the debate between Ziriyab and fucking Shia Isa is gonna be a fucking firecracker. I think that's what we've learned from this evening's escapades. Like, we've only been live for like 10 minutes, and the fireworks was fucking lively.
But I think Ziriyab did it on purpose. I think he wanted us to hear his mic quality.
Whoa, listen, that was a pre-match fucking trash talk fight conference. I fucking loved every second of it. Oh, it was good. But I won't lie to you, family. Hit the like button.
Issa, son. Issa with the grills in the chat. Yo, I'm low-key a big fan. You know, I appreciate the things you said about the Nation of Islam. I think you're a little harsh on them, but you know, I understand. To each his own.
Yeah, big up, Sunni Isa. Sunni Isa, yeah, he's in the chat. But listen, Sunni Isa doesn't know, right? But
yeah,
I've actually spoken to him.
What's the topic gonna be, lads? What's the discussion?
All right. Since you're a Quranist, let's discuss contradictions in the Quran.
Ooh.
How about that?
Ooh. Wait, you gonna ask a bunch of Muslims to contradict their book?
Actually, you know what? I've got a question for you.
No contradictions in the Quran. No? All right, cool, no problem.
Hey, are you correct? Cool. Some grapes have seeds if you let them grow out. Go ahead.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I was saying, I was listening to the conversation between Isa and Ezra last night. And the question came up about why Muslims face the cube in Mecca. Now, I don't see, today is not going to be that day where we have an argument. This is just a question. Mm-hmm. So please, let's not have an argument. Now, one particular word in Arabic was translated to mean prayer direction. So it was given two words. It was given a description for one particular word, and that word is qibla. Now, if you look at the Arabic for what qibla means, you do not get, quote unquote, prayer direction. As a matter of fact, you get direction, but not necessarily prayer attached to it. So I'd just like to know why that the statement was made that it says in the Quran, or in the specific verse, I think it was chapter 2, 143, that it says prayer direction, when it in fact only says direction. It says nothing about prayer.
I don't know. Who made the statement, Ahmed?
Isa did.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so as I said, Ultra Funky, I want to see Ahmed the Quranist versus Ziriyab, the kind of a Sunni. In regards to making a statement, I quoted a translation of the Quran. Ahmed disagrees, but I'm saying he comes out of a Sunni group, so it'd be good for him to debate them in regards to this, because Sunnis agree that the word Qibla refers to the direction of prayer. So I mean, let him debate the Sunnis on that. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Well,
But
the thing
Issa,
is,
I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
lie,
I'm
that
not.
was a
What?
politician's answer, bro. Like,
I'm really quite
Aaron,
proud of him.
Ahmed literally just said it was commenting on something that you said, and essentially what Ahmed's saying is you may have made an error by asserting that Qibla suggests prayer direction when it just means direction. I think it would be a good idea for you to have a look at your Quran and respond accordingly.
Ultra. I
Hmm.
don't do
Hmm.
political answers.
Oh,
What
okay.
you have
Oh,
is
okay.
Ultra. You have extreme ignorance in the subject. So to accuse me of political answers is ridiculous. What I'm saying to you is, if you know anything about Quranis, we have me versus Quranis, Sunnis versus Quranis have major differences in regards to the definition of words in the Quran. For instance, Ahmed might be a Quranist that says that the word salah or salat in the Quran, which is normally interpreted by Sunnis and Shias to mean the 5 daily prayers, is not understood to be the 5 daily ritual prayers by Ahmed and the Quranists. Now, Ultra Funky, will you then follow him, or will you, my point is, brother, I'm not really interested in the Quranist perspective, right? I'm interested in the Sunniism as a whole. So I'm saying, in relation to Ahmed and Ziriyab, who are both from, at least you can say, coming out from the Sunni perspective, however deviant or whatever, I'm saying this is something good for them to do. Do you get me? I'm saying this is an in-house fight and it's nothing to do with me. I don't care about it. Do you get what I'm saying? So
I do hear what you're saying, brother.
If I may
But
add to that,
I
Ultra,
won't lie.
yeah.
Can I? Wait, wait. Hold on, Ahmed. Before you do, Ahmed
Let me
said,
clarify, Ultra.
she.
Let me
Oh, okay. Yeah,
let me
go through,
clarify
Ahmed.
what I'm
Sorry,
saying,
brother.
so there's no
Yeah.
confusion.
Go. Yeah.
Yeah, let me
Oh,
just
okay.
clarify what I'm saying, because for some reason there seems to be the need to play identity politics, and I assure you that need is completely not there at all. Now, number one, the Quran is something that we all hold as the objective criteria. Whether you are a quote unquote Quranist, a Shia, or a Sunni, we all claim to follow the Quran. So what is being highlighted here is coming from the Quran, nowhere else. Number one. Number two, the Quran employs Arabic words. The words are in Arabic. They're not in Portuguese, they're not in Cantonese, they're not in any other language, they're in Arabic. Now, as we all know, words have definitions. Every single word has a definition, or else there would be no point in communicating. We wouldn't understand each other if words did not have a definition. You would simply define every single word that I say however you like, and obviously we cannot
Yeah. That's right.
communicate that way.
Agreed.
Hence why
Agreed.
words have a definition.
Hmm.
Now,
Agreed.
speaking of definition, you will find those definition in the dictionary. Now, in Arabic, if people want to argue, oh no, dictionaries change, blah blah blah, depends on which dictionary you want to choose. Now, in Arabic, what you have is something called a system, a root word system. Now, the word qibla, it is factually, according to the language, it is translated as direction. There is no prayer in there whatsoever relating to that word. So I'm simply saying, if we read this word in this book, which we all hold as a criteria for us, and this book is employing Arabic words, and these words have these definitions, especially this particular Arabic word has this definition, then where do you get your concept? Yours is a concept. When you say prayer direction, that's a concept, not a translation of a word. Do you see what I'm saying to you?
So
So
what are you taking the
you're
direction for?
applying a concept to a word. I just want that acknowledgement. Over to you. Did y'all hear me?
Yeah, we heard you.
Yes, we heard you. I wanted to ask you, what's the direction for when you're facing a direction? What is everybody facing a direction
I heard every word. Welcome back, Ziriyab. Can we just do a mic check with Ziriyab, please?
Clear, Ultra.
Ziriyab?
Did I make myself clear?
No,
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 no.
no. You're good. You're good. You're
Yeah,
good.
yeah. It was clear. It was clear for me, but either Issa is away from his laptop, which makes so much fucking noise when he moves it, or
I'm here,
he's
bro. I'm here.
choosing. Oh,
No,
okay,
no, no.
excellent.
I thought he was making a general point to everyone, but what my point is, he did talk about dictionary definitions, and that's fine. But one of the things I will give to you, Ultra, is there's not just a definition of a word, but the contextual meaning of words within a sentence. And those sentences contextual to the sentences before and after, and those paragraphs before and after. Okay, so you know what? If Ahmed really wants to come at me rather than discuss it with his Sunni Ziriyab, which is what I want to see, then fair enough. Let's set up a debate because, to be honest, Ultra, on this platform now, it would just become a shouting match, and I have no time for that. I'm saying what I would like to see is Ziriyab, and because me and Ahmed have spoken several times, right? We've screamed and shout. He said some offensive things, and I'm just remembering now. I actually said I wasn't going to talk to him again, but he's coming with a different energy today.
Is this
So
Ahmed the Somali?
yeah, of course,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, is that the Somali that believes that like? Because I never heard a Somali speak like that. Like, okay, if we talk about helping people, you got to start with black people. The skinny guy, the one with the
Bro,
yeah.
stop it.
No,
Is
no,
that
no.
him?
That's M.
Yo,
No, the
that dude
skinny
is a
ones.
mean.
No,
I
no.
like him, bro.
The skinny ones, M stacks, bro.
Oh no, M Stacks. I
No,
know
he's
who M
not.
Stacks is.
They're both,
Trust
they're
me, I
both
know M
skinny. They're
Stacks.
both. Look, forget that. All I'm saying is, bro, is that he has
Oh,
a
he did the
point.
Satan conversation about Satan being in your nose. That guy, is that him?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yo, what's up, man? You the beast, bro. What's good, man? Shout out to the adversary. No, go ahead.
But
Go ahead.
he doesn't accept those kind of hadiths anymore, and he's different now.
Oh,
Right.
he did it.
I just want to say, can you lot moderate him and Ziriab having this conversation? Because
Oh
I
well,
mean,
no, actually, we can't. Issa
One
Ziriab's not on the
minute, one
panel.
minute. I don't. One minute. Let me just say something, please. I don't understand where all of this dictating is coming from, as to who speaks
it's
to
a
who.
request.
Well, it sounds more like
Oh,
an
it's a request.
invitation rather than a request. Because if it was a request, you
Oh
would have
no.
to
We just speaking, man. You good?
No, it's a request. I'm saying what
Okay,
I'd like to see. You have a choice to speak or not. Okay. All right. I'll
my
mute
thing
up
is
and you speak to who you want. I'll mute
my
up.
thing is this. 1 minute. My thing is this. I'm not really interested in any individual. I'm not trying to take it that route. My thing is, it's a very simple question. That's all it is. Whether you are a Sunni, whether you are a Shia, I don't care what label you possess. If you claim that this particular verse or this particular word speaks about a prayer direction, all I'm asking for is proof. I mean, Isa said something very interesting now. He said something to do with a word, but however, that has a contextual meaning. You know what? I'll give him that. That was actually very clever. Now, if you're going to say that contextually it means prayer direction, no problem. Prove it. You can all read the context.
Yeah, I'm not
That's all
gonna
I'm
lie.
asking.
It's like I don't think that's unreasonable, Shia Issa. If a guy heard you say something in relation to the Quran, and he wants you to just clarify it and show basically what we say in math, you're working out. Like it's not that deep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not that
I
bad.
hear what you're saying. I hear what you're
Oh,
saying.
excellent,
What,
excellent.
what, what you don't realize, my brother, this will not be restricted to this verse nor to this. We will both have to go left, right, here, and set certain foundational principles of approach to the Quran, wherewith we prove even that simple point. Ahmed, do you agree with that? What I just said? It won't be as just simple as a
No,
dictionary.
I
Okay, go.
completely disagree. I will not have to go
Okay.
left, right. I will not have to go anywhere. I know how to read a book, and I'm completely happy reading the book as it
Okay.
is.
Okay,
for?
brilliant.
So
What we'll do then, hold on. What I'll do is I'll go and get it, right? I'll go upstairs, I'll get the translation I read, and what you can demonstrate for the people is what, if you want, this is your choice, you can demonstrate for the world why the Sunni translation I read out is wrong. Fair? Because Ziriyab is not here. Yes? Is that fair?
Well, see, I see. You have a habit of trying to direct the conversation. I'm not interested in Sunni
Oh my.
or Shia. I'm interested in anyone that chooses to translate this particular word or this particular verse in its context to mean it means a prayer direction. So don't try to direct me towards a particular group. You hold this particular belief yourself, so I'm against you too.
Yeah, that's
So
correct.
you're not a
What?
I'm sorry. You're not a Sunni nor a Shiite. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not a Sunni.
So what
Quran,
sect are you even? Are you even? So what is a Quranist? Well, shouldn't everybody be a Quranist then? Yeah, explain that.
You said it.
Oh
right.
shit!
So he's a
Shots
hadith
fired.
rejector.
Shots
Hadith
fired.
rejector. Yeah. So
Yo,
as I was
I
saying,
want to know more about this Quranist thing. Yo, no, bro. What's your name, bro? I don't want to mispronounce your name. Say that again. Ahmed.
Ahmed.
Okay, cool.
Ahmed, bro.
What is Ahmed? All right. What's a Quranist? This is something new.
all right. I'll tell you what. Let's set up a
Wait,
debate.
let me answer.
Okay.
Yo, Issa, let him finish. Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead.
Let me answer. Okay. First and foremost, Quranist is a term that the Sunnis and Shias have coined up.
Okay.
However, the Quran itself calls its adherents either believers or ones who have submitted to the will of God, which is either a Muslim or a mu'min in the Quran. So that's what the Quran calls anyone who adheres to the Quran. So this term Quranist is a term that they have coined up to make us look like a sect like them, because obviously the term Sunni is a sect, the term Shia is a sect. So they had to make Quranist to sort of to make it look like a sect, because if you don't say Quranist, then I won't be a sect. I'll just be the original.
Yeah.
See what I mean? So
Issa, you need to be a
they had to
Quranist.
coin that up.
Yeah.
So they had to coin it up. Yeah.
Ahmed, can I ask you a question? When you say prayer
1 minute,
direction,
let me just answer him. Logically, think about it this way: if one is a Muslim, and then they are a Sunni because they follow the Sunnah books, and if one is a Muslim and then they are a Shia because they follow the Shia books, if you don't follow those books, what are you left with? You're just left with Muslim.
So if I say I follow the Islam of the Quran, then where do you go from there? If I say I follow the Islam of the Quran, but I also follow Hadith, and I don't conform to the Shia sect, what do you say about that, Mr. Ahmed?
Well, I think he follows
whichever
the Islam of the
you follow,
Quran
you're a
too.
Quranist.
whichever hadith you
let him
follow
answer.
would be what you label yourself by.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get this correct. You're saying the type of hadith. What if I accept both Sunni and Shia hadith based upon what I say is the Quranic criterion? What do you say about that?
Well, fact of the matter remains, unless you can show us from the Quran any indication that you are supposed to follow any other external books, then you would be Muslim whatever name you please. You would not just be Muslim, because if you were just Muslim, then you would only do what the Quran tells you to do.
Okay, so if I'm saying that when you say other books, let's say there weren't other books. Let's say they were the successors of the Prophet. I say, for instance, the Prophet had successors, and I didn't follow any books, but I followed instructions that they gave me. So they're not books. I say
You kind of broke up there. Just say it again.
Okay. So let's say I said I do not follow the books Bukhari and all of this, but let's say I'm following who I say. I believe the Quran is teaching are the rightly guided successors of the Prophet. So it's not books, it's teachings I'm hearing from them. Let's say I lived, 1,000 years ago and I met them face to face, right? What would you say about those people? So I'm not only following the Quran, but I'm taking their commentary and their hadith as well. Now what? Because there's no books. There's a Quran as a book, and that's it. Now what?
What I would say to you is, as long as you claim the Quran, anything that you do has to be referenced from the Quran. The moment you do anything that you cannot reference from the Quran, you're doing your own thing.
Okay. And that's my point.
Either the Quran is the legislator, or it's not.
Okay. And that's my point. So if for instance I know you're fully aware of the verse where Allah says, "O you who believe, obey Allah, obey the Messenger, and those in authority from among you." And I know you have the interpretation you gave because of the verse before. You know what I'm saying is when it says those from among you, those in authority from among you, I'm saying those are the successors of the Prophet, peace be upon him. So that would be one of my evidences. In relation to that, we're now disputing the verse or the meaning of the verse, whether it supports my idea that you have external information that you have to follow. So with you, you say when it says obey Allah and obey the messenger, you're saying to obey Allah, you have to obey the messenger because the messenger is the one that gives you the Quran, which is the message itself, right? Which is fine. But when it comes to and those in authority, you have to obey them as well. So that issue now comes where when you're having to obey Allah, the messenger, and those in authority are not getting a new revelation. They're also having to follow the Quran. So what commands are they giving except what we would call
before you overwhelm me, if I could just
yeah,
answer, I
yeah,
think you quoted 59, obey Allah, obey the messenger, and those in authority among you.
yeah,
Now, what I would say to that is very simple. Earlier on, you mentioned something that I found quite interesting that I don't find mentioned a lot of in your circles, which is quote unquote context. You said contextual meaning, however, context. Now, I've noticed that a lot of people like to quote isolated verses and then attach a narrative. I think you're to the fact that I verse that you are referencing, and obviously that is because I'm sick and tired of this game that people are playing. 459 is attached to 458. That is a context. And if you go 8, you will find that first it addresses those in authority. Namely, it says, render trust to whom they are due. And when you judge in between people, judge with justice. You will find 2 jobs there. Render trust to whom they are due, and when you judge in between people, you judge with justice. Number 1, rendering trust is possession. That's the only trust you can render. It has to be something material, tangible. And judging in between people with justice can only be done if you are present. Judging in between people means there are 2 people having a dispute. To judge between those people, you would have to be present and you would have to have knowledge of their entire circumstance behind that dispute. Now, to be in the position of judging between people, judging between people with justice, you would have to be in position of authority. And then comes the following verse. At first, he addressed the individual and authority, and then the following verse addresses the subject. Hence why it says, "O you who believe, obey Allah, obey the messenger, and those in authority among you." That is a context. So you cannot detach the context, isolate the verse, and attach a narrative. And another thing I will add, yeah, is a lot of people say, obey Allah and obey the messenger. When they say that, they are assuming that you can detach the 2, as if you can obey Allah and without obeying the messenger. That is impossible, because in order for you to obey Allah, you would have to obey the message delivered through the messenger. That is how you obey Allah. So in order for you to obey Allah, you would have to accept the message from the messenger, thereby obeying the messenger. So when Allah says obey Allah and obey the messenger, that is a statement of fact. So when you ask this question, what you're doing is you're detaching something that cannot be detached in order to entertain the question you're entertaining. Over to you.
Damn.
beautiful.
Yo,
One
we need
sec.
a new Muslim on the G block, bro.
Give me literally 60 seconds. 1 minute.
You might want to mute up too. Damn, that's
Ahmed, I was trying to ask you a question earlier. When it says direction, when we take out the prayer direction, what are we facing the direction for, or what's the direction for?
Right. I don't want to be, obviously, I don't want to be those people that everyone thinks. What I'm saying is this: let the Quran speak for itself. So why don't you look up the verse, look up the context, and see if it doesn't become clear for you, as long as you do not try and impose something that you have learned outside of the Quran. It will become clear.
I'm not trying to impose. I'm just asking you for, everybody has their own interpretation of a book. So if you were giving me a
Okay, I'll give you.
logical, yes, I just wanted to know what if everybody says face direction for prayer. So let's take out the prayer and we're left with direction. What are we facing direction for?
All
What's the
right.
direction for?
Cool.
Hold on, brother.
All right.
You brought back in something where the brothers put a verse in. We were talking about something specific, and the verse does not say direction for prayer. So the question may be invalid. Just in response to what Ahmed said, if you remember, my response first before he spoke was that I know he's going to come with the verse before says something which gives him, which he's going to try and give it a context to. In relation to what he's saying this verse means, it might be a good idea to ask Ahmed how exactly he would apply a realistic situation to that, let's say in today's world or in the time of the Prophet or just after the Prophet, how the people collectively will be practicing this thing he's saying. And obviously I said as well that when the Quran is, because I used to be, or I went through a stage of looking into being a Quranist before, so I know basically their argument. When it says obey Allah and obey the messenger, I said I totally understand that's their point. They do say that, and it's logical. I mean, how are you going to obey Allah except that you have the messenger telling you what Allah's commands are? However, we know that the word of Allah is contained in the Quran. There are certain verses that tell you that the Prophet at the very least was in battle with some enemies. In the fact that the Prophet was in battle with his companions against enemies, Ahmed's perspective is absolutely refuted and annihilated, considering the fact that the Prophet would have said for a group of people, you stay by the mountain. You archers, you go over here. You horsemen, you go over here. Now, those commands which the Prophet is giving, they are not in the Quran. So there's many other commands of practical daily use where the Prophet is telling people to do things and they still have to obey them. He can't just recite the Quran, everything he says in a conversation, in war, in circumstances, just Quran coming out of his mouth. There has to be some sort of conversation. So if he says, right, I want everyone who's going to be on the front line up here. Everyone who's going to be the archers, you go over there. These are commands that are not in the Quran, but they come out the Prophet's mouth and they are commanded to obey them. So although Ahmed is correct in one sense, that obviously you can't obey Allah unless you obey the messenger. And he's the one bringing the message of the Quran. Ahmed is absolutely wrong in the other sense. And this is one of the ways we refuted the Quranists in the past. And as I say, if Ahmed really wants to get into it, we can have a proper organized debate. But I'd prefer to see him and Ziriyab do it because I see them as two groups of Sunnis. So over to him.
I think that was quite an absurd example that was brought up with, for example, if you're going to talk about the Prophet as a military general that comes up with, formations and stuff like that. Now, I'm not disputing that they should obey their general. And notice I use the word general on purpose because the word prophet, the word messenger is a specific role. It's not something that Muhammad is by birth and he just has that until he dies. It's a specific role that is attached to him delivering the message of God. When he's not delivering the message of God, for example, when he's with his wife, what is he operating as a prophet? No, he's her husband. You understand what I'm saying? When he's with his friend, is he always operating as a prophet? No, he's operating as a friend. So let's not confuse what we need to obey and what is ideal for us to obey. Now, obviously, it makes sense for you to obey your general, for crying out loud. However, for example, if the prophet came up with a strategy and someone said, you know what? Sorry, let me say Muhammad now in this particular scene. If Muhammad came up with um, a strategy and someone said, you know what, what about this, what about this strategy, I think this strategy would work better, I don't think that they are committing an act of blasphemy. I don't even think he would say that. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not disobeying the prophet. Now they're operating as men. However, when you're in the battlefield, you have to obviously obey your general. That just makes sense. But what we are talking about as Muslims today, I mean, unless you think somehow the Muhammad is our general today or anything of the kind, he can't be. He's dead. So the only thing we could be interested in, the only thing we could be interested in, the only thing that could apply to us as quote unquote Muslims is what is relevant in his role as a prophet and in his role as a messenger.
Okay. In relation to your words, the problem there is that it's fine to try today to make a separation between Muhammad, the man, the normal everyday man, the prophet, and the messenger. But obviously, the companions were looking at one man. They acknowledged that this one man was in communication with Allah. Therefore, his instructions would generally be from a divine source. Where, Mr. Ahmed, do you get any idea throughout the Quran that the Prophet is going to give commands from himself, especially when the Quran says he does not speak of but from himself? It is naught but a revelation unto him. Now, I know that fundamentally, first and foremost, refers to the Quran. However, we need a verse from you that suggests that there are times when people can disobey the Prophet or disobey Muhammad. That's what we would need, especially since you're adhering to the Quran. So give us an example of where the Quran is saying, yes, you can disobey him when he's functioning as Muhammad, not the Prophet and not the messenger.
Okay, this is very strange. First and foremost, the word messenger has a definition. It is one who delivers a message. Secondly, we all know what human beings are. We all know what human being claiming that they are inspired means. If someone is inspired, they are inspired with something. Now, what the Prophet was inspired with is the Quran. There is no reason to to uh, to how do you call it, to basically to assume Muhammad the man and Muhammad the role as a prophet is one in the same. That is an assumption. You're assuming that, and then you're asking me to prove otherwise. I should be asking you why you assume that the man possessing a role is all of a sudden the role entirely.
Okay.
Now, for example, when you
Oh, no.
say 1 minute, let me finish. Let me
Okay.
finish.
Okay.
For
Okay.
example, wait, let me finish. When you say the companions, you know, they know that he's in communion with God, so and basically you're suggesting there that the prophet can do no wrong, and he's constantly just getting, you know, constantly getting divine information constantly. Now, the Quran will contradict that statement, because in the Quran you will find at least, I think, 3 times that I can think of by my head, where the prophet gets chastised, for doing wrong. For example, the prophet gets chastised for making something prohibited to himself to please his and when Allah has not made such a thing prohibited. He gets chastised for that. Number one. He gets
Sorry,
chastised
that's
for
not true. That's
hold
not
on,
true,
let me
though.
finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. You're gonna get your time. So he gets chastised for ignoring the blind man. I'm not saying that he did so on purpose, but still, God tells him off for not paying attention to the blind man that's trying to get his attention. Number two, and number three, he gets chastised for letting off some hypocrites that try to basically some cowards that try to not join battle and come up with excuses, and the Prophet let them off. So he gets chastised those three times. The reason it's in the Quran, because God makes no mistakes. The reason it's in the Quran is because clearly God is showing us that that the Prophet is a human being. We are not to worship him. He still does mistakes. He's human. Now, to go further, there are many statements in the Quran where the Prophet is told to say, and he says, say, and then he says afterwards, I am not your manager. I do not know what will happen to you. I know what will happen to you. And that his only duty is the notification of the message. It's littered throughout the Quran. So the only person here that needs to prove claims is not only you, but when you said Surah Najm that you brought up, when it says he does not speak from his own from whims of his own desires, it is but a revelation, and it continues. That whole chapter continues to talk about when the Prophet met Angel Gabriel, how he met him in his original form, and it talks about how he got the revelation from him. That entire chapter is talking about the revelation. If you say otherwise, it's for you to prove. Over to you.
Okay, and this is why is when you keep like you listed three things and you said something before, I suggest when you make points, try and break them up and let me respond, because the first bit I don't remember. I still remember the third point. So what did you say in relation to the first thing that you were saying? What was that?
He makes something prohibited for himself, which Allah has not made prohibited.
No, not one of the three. The point you made before you mentioned three things. You said, I remember it. I remember. You said something like his role as general, and you said that I would
Sorry?
have to prove. Tell me if I'm correct. So I'm going to put it to you, and you tell me if I'm correct. If I'm not, you correct me. So for what I heard you say was you're dealing with the war. When I put the war factor to you, you're saying, well, that's the role of a general. Okay, so that's not the messenger, and that's not the prophet, and I would need to prove that this is a messenger prophet as well as a general. Was that your point? Hello?
No.
Okay,
No.
can you repeat that point? Yeah, this is why I suggest when you make a point, that break it up and then so go on, repeat your point so I can refer to it.
What I'm saying is that you obey your general makes absolute sense. That does not necessarily have to have anything to do with prophethood or messengerhood, because they could equally, if they had a better strategy, they could equally take that to the general at that time, and I'm sure he would have no problem looking at their suggestion.
The problem, I mean, what I'm saying is, all right, let's just go to the other one. Remember, you mentioned the blind man, yes, where you claim it's the prophet that was reprimanded. How do you know it's the prophet reprimanded in this verse or surah?
Because he's speaking directly
Because it's speaking directly to who?
to the person that has the message, obviously.
So it said you frowned. So are you saying wherever it says you in the Quran, it is not sometimes referring to the believers?
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm saying contextually in this particular verse, there is no reason to believe that.
Okay, but
There
that's
is
what I'm
no
saying.
reason to believe in this context that you refers to anyone but the individual that receives the message, which is the prophet.
Right. Okay, well, I mean, again, that's a disputable thing. And even when you go to, you said he was reprimanded in chapter 66 in relation to his oath that he gave. There's nothing that says he was reprimanded. He was questioned. He was asked a question. Why do you? Okay, so it was just, why do you forbid for yourself that which Allah has allowed you, seeking to please your wives? And Allah is of
How's that?
forgiving much possible. No, no, listen what I'm
Okay.
saying. It's a question. Then Allah says, Allah has already ordained for you the absolution from your oaths, and Allah is your Mawla, and He's the all-knower, the all-wise. But even as you say in context, what would this verse, the first verse, second verse, have in relation to the third, fourth, and fifth verse? So this is the problem, where when you're accusing others of missing context, you're doing it too. And I can see how that can be done if you haven't studied all the things in relation
All
to
right.
context.
Could you tell me where I did that?
What I'm saying to you is, when it says seeking to please your wives, correct?
No.
If the Prophet had done it not seeking to please his wives, would it have made a difference?
I'm not interested in hypotheticals. We're dealing with what it says.
Well, you have to. No, no, no. Listen to what I'm saying to you.
Uh-huh.
If something is specified within a context, you praised and said, yeah, I brought up context, and most people don't. So the context of it is only specific to seeking to please your wives. Therefore, are you suggesting the Prophet can only have oaths in relation to
I
seeking
don't.
to please his wives?
No.
No.
No. No.
Hold
No.
on.
Hold on.
Hold on.
One minute. 1 minute.
What do you mean 1 minute? I'm talking. You don't want me to interrupt you?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Right. So I'm saying, just like when you use the word general, and then you said, well, you're supposed to obey your general, these are all things outside the Quran. Now, when I'm giving you logical things, hypotheticals, you're giving me the general as a hypothetical, because you have no evidence in the Quran that suggests that the Prophet as a role as general is going to be seen by people's eyes as different to the messenger and the Prophet. So when he speaks and says, I want you lot over there, you're trying to tell us that they're going to think for themselves and say, I wonder if he's speaking under the general capacity, and therefore I can disobey him. This is a weird concept.
I think you're very much interested in hypotheticals and what people did or said. I'm interested in facts and what the Quran says. I mean, can we deal with that part?
That's
Can we
exactly
deal
what
with
I
what
put
the
to you.
Quran actually says?
Right. What the problem you have is, you're stuck in the world of your imagination of a book, whereas I'm giving you a reality. So the Quran literally refers to situations.
Quran, not reality.
Hold on. The Quran. Do you agree the Quran refers to battles? Yes, it does. Do you agree the Quran refers to times at when the companions disobeyed a command of the Prophet? So obviously, as a general, they are supposed to obey him. Now, you don't even know about the rest of the detail of the battle if you don't accept the hadith and the commentary. So this,
Can you make an actual point, please?
Right. The point is, and I'll say it again, because you are stuck with this, let's say, cult of Quranism, as it were. When the Quran refers to situations outside of the Quran, the example, a battle where the companions disobeyed the Prophet's order to, I think it was the archers on the mountain, and
Sorry,
then they
would you
ran
say the
down
Quran refers to what?
a
Sorry, you said
battle.
something the Quran refers to.
Mhm.
Okay.
All
The
right, you
Quran
know what?
refers to
Hold on. Let me just give you this. This is a very interesting one. So in the Quran, chapter 3, verse 172 to 174, it says, those who responded to the call of Allah and the Messenger, even after the wound had afflicted them, those among them who do good and guard themselves against evil shall have a great reward. Those to whom the people said, surely men have gathered against you, therefore fear them. But this only increased their faith. And they said, Allah is sufficient for us, most excellent protector he is. So they returned with favor from Allah and his grace. No evil touched them, and they followed the pleasure of Allah, and Allah is Lord of mighty grace. This begins by saying, those who responded to the call of Allah and the Messenger, even after the wound had afflicted them. So Allah is the one who's produced and enforced and linked the concept of the Messenger as the part and parcel of warfare, as well as a general.
You're breaking up a little bit. Just
Oh, sugar,
get
sorry.
to the nitty gritty, please.
Is that better? Yeah, this is what I mean. I knew it'd be get to the nitty. Every time we're dealing with any matters where there's problems for the opponent, it's get to the nitty gritty. But you can waffle on for ages. Okay, basically, if we go to as I said, chapter 3, verse 172.
No, I'm listening. Chapter 3, 174. Those who
72.
basically, took some wounds and etc. What's your?
Yeah. So, do you agree? It says the messenger in that verse.
I was only listening to you read it. I didn't actually look up the verse. I don't recall you saying it.
Really? I said those who responded to the call. Those who responded to the call of Allah and the messenger.
Oh,
yes?
Okay, cool. Those who responded. Yes, fine. Yeah. What about it?
Yeah. Even after the wound had afflicted them. So here we have a this is in the context of a battle.
Even when
hold on. Yeah. So in the context of a battle, Allah, where you try to separate the messenger and the prophet from the context of battle, Allah has clearly refuted your position by using the word messenger directly in relation to a battle. So I mean, it's just you know what? Hold on. Let me just finish this. Let me just finish this point. You're a person that talks about logic and reason, as am I. People listening, I do not need to make some big long out argument. If there is one man who is referred to as the messenger of Allah and a prophet bringing you revelation, and this revelation is seen to be something unique from the Almighty, all-knowing Lord, then there are battles that come along, and in these battles, it says in the Quran that angels have come down to support the believers. There is nothing to believe that Allah is not always, overseeing and interacting or sending angels to interact with what's going on. I cannot see how the Sahaba.
You're kind of overwhelming me, bro. I don't know what question to do with now.
Well, I don't know how many questions you put there, but I'm giving it. That's what you want me to do after you spoke for ages. But anyway, as I'm saying, it's very simple. It's very simple. I suggest that Prophet Muhammad, the Messenger of Allah, and Muhammad himself, although they have three separate roles in general, they generally go together in relation to their functionality when it comes to the obedience and authority of the Prophet over everyone else.
All right, cool. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, you were breaking up a little bit. It was kind of long-winded, but there is one thing that I caught, so I'll address that. You mentioned the verse talking about when Allah and His messenger basically called them up for battle, those that were even wounded, etc., and they still stood tall, something along those lines. You see, the difference with that is that has nothing to do with strategy. That's simply to do with the call to arms, and obviously that's all over the Quran when the believers are being told about being ready for battle and being called to arms, etc., etc. So that is in the realm of messengerhood because that's clearly in the Quran. Discuss that. Now, when you talk about strategy, that's completely something else. Like, please recognize the difference between calling to arms and strategizing the battle. There is a difference between the two. Simple and short. Over to you.
Okay, that's brilliant. I mean, then somebody could say, yes, I'm going to come tomorrow or days later because I don't think this is the right date. So they say, yes, I've got my weapons ready. I've got everything. But you know what? I disagree with you, Muhammad, because you're not in the role of messenger. And therefore, I think it's better to battle them tomorrow, despite they're camped right outside of where we are. So this is the problem with your flawed and ridiculous reasoning. Once you're suggesting that Prophet Muhammad can be disobeyed, regardless of whether he's in the role of prophet, messenger, or the man Muhammad, you really go down a slippery slope and then you slip on your backside, as you've just done. So I suggest to the people, just use your common sense. If the prophet is on planet Earth, he's around people. When he says, go left, you go left. When he says to go right, you go right. When he says go forward, back, wherever he tells you to do, obey it. It's very simple. Any man that is in communication, who's a righteous man with the Most High Almighty God, I suggest you obey him in everything he tells you. You lot can choose for yourself.
To ask you a question, why can't you just say
Yeah.
that without having to like low key like shame somebody? Because I noticed that you low key would say like, "Oh, it's ridiculous. You fell on your backside."
Because this is what I'm saying, Brad. I noticed with you lot. You lot are so ignorant of the context of what's been said. You don't see the sly disses that he's pushing to me, right?
I've heard him have a very respectful dialogue, and I've been warming up to Somalis lately. So
No,
you
no,
know,
no. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying because you don't know the context of what's being said. But I'm saying, you know what? This is the politest I've ever heard Ahmed. So obviously,
yeah, you be lying.
I'm telling you, you see him on YouTube. Yeah, he's as bad as me, bro. Yeah, but
Yo, Ahmed go high. He go live, bro. I like that about him.
in general, his is out of frustration because sometimes he's making some good points, and the orthodox are just coming back with the opinion of scholars. So he's correct there. But when you're discussing with him without the scholarship, it's just your logic versus his logic. Then I think you can progress. But I mean, where's Ziriyab gone? Why is Ziriyab not defending his Sunni position? This would be interesting.
Wait. Ziriyab never declared himself a Sunni. Okay, he actually said he would take that title just to hold the debate with you. Stop trying to shame him,
brother. You're not, Brad. Listen to what I'm saying to you, right?
Uh-huh.
I agree. He's not the normal type of Sunni, but what makes someone a Sunni is the view with which they hold the companions in general, and specifically Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Aisha. So I'm saying that's genuine. It's like, for instance, somebody who's a Shia. You've got 12 Shia, Zaydi Shia, Ismaili Shia. All you've got different types of Shia. But the thing that makes you a Shia is that you believe the Prophet appointed Imam Ali. Do you get what I'm saying? So, and I'm saying there are some 12 Shia that say that Ismailis are Kafirs and say the Zaydis are Kafirs. But my point is, they still have to come under the umbrella of Shia, because the point is that we believe the Prophet, peace be upon him, appointed Imam Ali. So I'm saying, likewise, the umbrella, or however broad it is, of a Sunni is someone who holds certain companions to have a high role in their religion. Simple as that. So what I'm saying is, I'm not going to pin him down to the general Sunni, but that's why I asked Ziriyab to declare exactly what type of Sunni he is and what he believes. And he tried to delay for about half an hour, and then we managed to get him to tell the truth about his position. And we found out, yes, he's just a Sunni. Simple as that. So, yeah.
All right. So what is the role?
So it's
Huh?
What happened?
Yo, where we at now?
Ahmed. Quick question: are you saying the prophet he wasn't a general, but he could be named a prophet and a messenger, but not a general?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying him as a general would only apply to obviously the people that are with him. That I mean, how could he be a general to me? How could I obey him as a general? We don't exist in the same time. You know what I'm saying? Yo. Ah, don't do that. Yo.
Yeah.
You heard me, yeah? I thought my mic was wrong. So. But yeah, as I was saying, look, man, cut the long story short, yeah. Cut the long story short. There's two things in it. One, as you noticed with what I was trying to address earlier on with the word qibla, certain words have been translated away from the Arabic definitions. Number one. And number two, extra sets of books have been added onto the Quran at least a century after the Quran. You understand? And number three, those books, the first one of which, check this out, the first one written by Imam Malik, yeah, he was told to write a book of which the emperor or whatever they call him of that time in that area, he said he's going to make everybody follow it. So that's what made Imam Malik write this book. And all those books with the fiqh and the jurisprudence and the blah, 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 all of it is political. So you mean to tell me all of that is conveniently associated with the Quran 100 years after the moment when Arabs started to have expansions and shit?
Sorry, bro. Were you saying about Malik, the book of Malik? What of Malik? Or
Yeah.
Bukhari? Oh, okay. So you're saying that was commissioned by the leader?
Yeah, you can look this up. You know what the
Yeah,
funny
yeah.
thing is, yeah?
I've heard it before. I've heard it.
We all possess like a library in our hands today. You can look this up. These are facts nobody can deny.
Hold on. Would you not agree that Bakari and so on, they also have a similar role as political in the sense that they wanted to standardize their religion for the people and therefore got certain people to produce
Every
text.
single one of them was associated with the government of the time. Like
Exactly.
the most quoted dude, yeah, in the hadith books is Abu Huraira. Abu Huraira's claim to fame came when Umayyads came in power. All of a sudden, they gave him certain roles in Medina, and they gave him certain roles in the government, etc. And he happened to be the one who has narrated the most hadiths in the Sunni book, and also he happens to be the one of the few who has spent the least time with the Prophet. Apparently, he only spent like 2 years with the Prophet, and he's narrated the most.
They say 3 years. Obviously, there is a lot of issues with him. Yeah, I mean, Sunnis are starting to doubt
All
either,
of it is
bro.
Buki.
Well,
The whole thing is Buki. To make it even worse, check this out, yeah. To make it even worse, yeah. Muhaddithun, like the biggest muhaddith. Number one, Ibn Majah. Number two, Dawood. Number three, Tirmidhi. Number four, Bukhari. Number five, Muslim. All of them, and this is not insignificant, all of them were Persian. And the reason it's significant is because the Arabs defeated the Persian Empire of that time. And then all of a sudden, they let the Persians tell them about their religion. How the hell does that make sense?
I would suggest it. Maybe you haven't read the history of Shia Hadith, but that's fine. For me, it's very straightforward. We learn the Arabic of the Quran. We go into the Arabic Hadith of the descendants of Prophet Muhammad. But I mean, at the end of the day, your arguments are very simple. Your point is we don't use any external source to either understand the Quran or to follow it. That's your main point, isn't it?
Well, that's what my thing is. It's not even just external. It's 100 years after the prophet's death. Like there is no way for the prophet to verify these claims. So my thing is, I'm sick and tired of people confidently saying this is what the prophet has said. At least tell the truth. Say no. It is what has been attributed to the prophet. Like recognize the difference between the two,
Uh,
innit?
I agree. I agree 100%. And your point is valid. That was my point too. I mean, we have to remember that people were literally killed, wars were started, people were enslaved based upon the opinion of the interpretation of hadiths, never mind the Quran. So yeah, I'm with you on that, bro. I'm 100% with you on that. So, but that's the problem with the mentality
Well,
that
to
they
be honest with
produce.
you, the biggest issue that I have
Doesn't
there,
it doesn't it say compare the hadith with the Quran? If it rhymes, then you take it. If it doesn't rhyme, then you dump it.
Yeah, that's
well,
that's
the
in our
biggest
hadith.
issue that I have, the biggest issue that I have, yeah, is you have words in the Quran that have been translated to the obviously to the non-Arabic speaking people to fit in with the concepts that are created in the hadiths. So you have Arabic words that have completely, for example, we've been told, as far as we're concerned, that salah means prayer. That is a lie. It's literally a lie. It's a bull-faced lie. You see what I'm saying to you?
But bro, you have to
It
remember.
is a
So
But you
concept,
said
and
translation,
tell people the truth. Huh?
bro. You listen to what you just said. Translation. The problem with what your
Yeah.
statement is, you're forgetting that they say this in Arabic too. It's not just translation in English. They're saying it means ritual prayer in Arabic for people that can't even speak English, and their Arabic probably isn't that
You're
good. You
kind of
have to
breaking
remember.
up.
Oh, sugar. Yeah. So as I was saying, you have to remember this is not just a translation. They're saying that even for the people that speak only Arabic, that's what it means. So you don't even need to say, well, they've mistranslated or anything like that. They say that to the people who only speak Arabic. Do you understand?
I think if I heard you right, because you're kind of breaking up, is that they're the ones that produce these translations. So obviously they're going to fit
No,
into
no,
their
no, no, no,
agenda.
no,
So
no.
it's not
Listen to
going
what
to
I'm
be
saying. Listen to what I'm
direct.
saying. No, 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 no. What I'm saying is, even without the translation, the people that have been speaking Arabic for thousands of years, even for them in Arabic, they say the word refers to literal prayer. So it has nothing to do with the translation, because they say that as well, regardless. Correct?
No, I understand. Even in the Arabic, it's been like twisted.
In the Arabic world, I'm
Like for
saying in the
example,
Arabic world, yeah,
huh?
in the Arabic countries, they still understand the word salah to refer to ritual prayer. Correct?
No. You're getting me wrong here. You see, listen, ritual prayer. Look, the idea that prayer consists of the
No, no, no.
idea.
No,
Think
no,
about
no.
this.
You're debate. Listen,
Wait one
no,
second.
you're listen.
Hear me
No,
out.
no, no. You're
Hear me
not,
out,
bruv.
please.
Listen
Hear
to
me
what
out.
I'm saying. No, no,
Just
wait.
hear me
Listen,
out, man, please.
brother. No, no. Listen to what
The
I'm saying. You're not responding
idea.
to what I'm
What?
saying.
My God.
Jesus, Ahmed, listen. I'm not talking about what the word says. I'm saying in Arabic speaking countries where they do not translate it to English, even they teach the people it means ritual prayer in Arabic. Do you understand?
I hear what you're saying, but what you're dealing you're entertaining um circumstantial subjective things. I'm dealing with objective factual things which we know can never be changed. Like you gotta understand, like the Arabs acknowledge this. Even when you say these people that say that even with them they understand the word salah to mean a ritual prayer, whatever, blah blah blah. But even they will never say to you that that is the case according to the language. They will never disrespect their language. They know that they have definitions. They know they can't avoid that. You understand what I'm saying to you? They know that. For example, look, logically speaking, we're all adults. When you say that a particular word, for example, the word prayer, means specific physical movements facing a particular area, reciting particular words only found in our scripture. You can never tell people that that is the definition of a word. That is the definition of a concept. Like people know the difference between a word and a concept. When you describe the instructions, the sets of things that I just described, that's a concept. It can never be a linguistic word. You have Christian Arabs, you have atheist Arabs. They would never You cannot say that that particular word in our language is can only be applied in my religion. It don't work like that. That's a concept. Now,
Well,
with that said,
mm,
wait. Let me finish. With that said, we've got two things here. One, we've got many places where this word is used in the Quran, and we can see contextually that it can never mean prayer contextually. Number two, there is not a single Arabic individual that will argue that these words do not have linguistic definitions. There isn't. There's only religious zealots because we've got so used to our understandings. But we've got to understand, and this applies to both me and you, Isa. This is not our language. We cannot determine what another man's language means.
well, I mean,
Over to
I
you.
totally agree. Yeah, I agree with the principles you're saying. I disagree with your opinion about the meaning of salah. I mean, I think if you want to take it seriously, then we should have a debate on certain points like the meaning of salah. If we can follow the Quran alone, stuff like that. Because I mean, I feel there's certain points you put forward today which I've refuted, and I think they should be refuted in a proper format. So for people's benefit rather than over here. Does anyone know why Ziriyab jumped out? Because Ziriyab is he scared of Ahmed or something
And
like that?
stop focusing on Ziriyab. All right, take this
No,
ass
no,
whooping
no.
you getting from my Somali brother right here. All right,
Well,
calmly
you
whooping
wouldn't.
your ass.
Well, Brad, I think you need to calm yourself down because unfortunately you have no idea what we're talking about. Never mind what you're
Oh, what's
talking about.
wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong?
No.
I've
I
never
don't.
learned so much by Islam from one person. Yo, shout out to the Quranists. Quranists. You know, shout out to the Quranists, bro. You know,
Shout
just
out
simplistically.
shout out to those of knowledge and
Yeah.
those that are sincere to truth.
And he is though. He is though.
Yo,
He
I'll
give
be
you
back
that
in 2
truth.
seconds, yeah?
All right,
If I
man.
don't respond, it's because
Well,
I'm not here.
Okay, bro.
I'll be back in 2.
Yeah, Brad, you wouldn't know that. What you have to remember, Brad, is I've already been through Quranis, Ahmadi, Sufi, all of these different things. So
But you've been a
you
Quran.
didn't.
So you was a Hebrew Israelite, a Christian. God, how are you, Professor Smalls? You just done every religion, you just stopped going back to Islam? How you
No,
gonna
no,
be
no.
a Shiite then?
If you're looking for something, if you're looking for truth, do you think you're just gonna get it right like that? Is that what you think?
Oh no, I was asking. I'm just asking. You ain't got to.
Yeah. So what I'm saying to you, even after I converted, I was still looking at the others as potential. For instance, Kemet. It really became a choice between Kemet and the Islam of the Quran. That was the last, even after being a Muslim for years, right? It was only when I found the true so-called Shia teaching, the true Islam of the Quran, I was like, okay, now we're talking. Do you get what I'm saying? So this is where, like, you didn't even realize I absolutely refuted Ahmed's position when I said, in relation to the Prophet, peace be upon him, when he is in the position of giving commands and orders to people in battle, he suggested they can disobey him. I said, give me a verse in the Quran that gives anyone permission who's under his authority to disobey him. He couldn't do it. He threw it back to me and said, I have to prove it. The Quran says throughout, obey
Wait, but
Allah.
you're talking about battle though, bro. I mean, generals disobey their commanders all the time in battle, bro. This was
Brother, listen. No. It's not whether you disobey, it's whether you are allowed to. So, for instance, is there a divine consequence, or are you allowed to, according to Islam, according to the Quran? That's the point. It's the principal point. And I'm saying he ran from that and went somewhere else. When I asked him secondary, in relation to the Prophet, when it says he frowned, okay, and turned away from the blind man, etc., it doesn't say Muhammad's name, and it doesn't say Prophet, and it doesn't say Messenger. How do you know who it is? And he tried to say context. I'm saying, oh, bruv, these are easy things. I'd refute him to hell. This is why I didn't stop very long with the Quranists, bruv. They're easy to refute. Now, it's good that me and him have had a good
How are they against? Here's the thing, though. How are they against? How do they, like, because the way I see it from, like, as a pagan looking on the outside looking in, it seems like no one outside of Islam is going to say, like, oh, the Sunnis have the answer, the Shiites have the answer. It seems like y'all spend so much time fighting each other. Can y'all find some common ground? But it seems like y'all have a lot in common, though. It's like, what, Aisha and a couple of what, hadiths? Like, what separates y'all really?
Brother, this is the problem. What you just said is absolute rubbish.
That's what I'm trying to understand. This is what I'm saying. See, if I was trying to convert, bro, you'd be the worst Muslim.
No, you outside
asking questions.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Answer my question. Easy.
No, bro, wait. You made a statement first and then asked a question. You said no one outside of Islam and Muslims says that this one is true, this one is true, or this one is true. That's rubbish.
I was saying I was asking Isa is that looking on the outside, it doesn't seem like people who are not Muslim don't seem to say, well, you know, the Shiites, they know better, or the Sunnis know better. No one says that. So that's why I'm asking the internal
but they do
have.
Oh, God.
But the internal fighting you guys have, what is the major differences, man? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Right. Okay. Major differences are, and I've said to you that other people, other people who are not Muslim, when they hear discussions and debates in regards to major points, for instance, when I show them that the Quran says that Aisha is an enemy of Allah, okay, they then see that when the Sunnis are praising Aisha as righteous, that they can't even be Muslims because they don't follow the Quran. They become enemies of Allah. Imagine a Christian praising Judas. Do you get what I'm saying? Think about that.
That makes sense.
So that's the same thing. If a Christian came to you, said, "Oh, I love Jesus," and they're praising Judas who betrayed him, you would see something wrong there. Likewise, it's just because you lot are ignorant of it, and because there's so many Sunnis, you lot can't believe that you can have so many people following the enemies of the Prophet. But you have to remember how they became Sunnis in the first place, and that they wasn't taught the information. Okay, it's only, like I said, it's only now we've got internet that they can easily reference this information. But a lot of them are just cultural Sunnis, you know what I mean? So they don't actually care about the truth. It's just a matter of yeah, my family's Sunni, and they don't care what the truth is, bro. It's as simple as that. So I mean, like I said, I'm willing. You know, Ahmed has been very well behaved today. If he would like to get that work, we can organize a debate. And for the people, because it's not for me, bro. I really don't give a damn. Like Quranist to me, I prefer a Quranist than a general Sunni all day, because a Quranist is not going to tell you to blow yourself up. A Quranist is not going to try and conquer you and impose stuff. That's not really the way of the Quranist. Do you see what I'm saying? So
yeah, but isn't there like
don't.
4 schools of Sunnism? So which school teaches that, or they all teach that?
But listen. All Sunni schools teach that Abu Bakr, Umar, and Uthman, the first 3 usurpers of the Khalifa, of the leadership, they teach that they're righteous. So these are the enemies of Allah, enemies of the Prophet. So all Sunni schools are, it's kind of like they're HIV and ISIS is the AIDS full blown. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
So the manifestation, yeah. So all the Sunni schools are the HIV, and ISIS is AIDS when it comes out as a manifestation. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's the nature of this stinking virus, bro. Trust me.
So was the Hadith written like the Quran was? Like God came to these individual prophets and told them stuff like, "Oh, I forgot to tell the prophet this. You know, put this down." How was the Hadith?
I forgot to tell. No, it's not that. How it works is this. Basically, the people around the prophet, just like you have in African tradition, oral traditions. So people would say, "Oh, the prophet said this, the prophet said that," and it would carry on. But you have to remember that's the Sunni tradition. In our tradition, you have 12 people that come after the prophet whose authority of speech is equal to the prophet. It's like having 12 prophets after the prophet. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And that's the bit you lot don't seem to get. So what I'm saying to you is our hadith perspective is totally different to theirs. And it's 2 separate religions. Do you get what I'm saying? Why do you think Issa Frimponi, this clown, this claims
Yo.
Shush. I'm talking, bro.
No disrespect in front of non-black people.
Shut up. Forget that, bro. Forget that. You said you like Malcolm X. Malcolm X went to the white media and spoke about Elijah Muhammad. This guy is nowhere near Elijah Muhammad.
Stop using that excuse, because what happened?
No.
Don Hunt. No.
No, bro. It's not just him. It's not. What I'm saying is this guy publicly comes against black people, right? There's videos on YouTube where I'm talking to a terrorist supporter called Ahmed, and then this bloody coon comes in interrupting me, disrespectful, not like, oh, let's mediate, let's do, no, comes in for Massa, let me take over, Massa, you get what I'm saying? So if he continues that line of rhetoric,
we have each other's hangouts. If you gotta say that privately. Don't say that in front of non-black people, because if you say it, people,
he's done it in front, bro. He done it in front of non-black people.
If he does, okay, listen, because I've been trying to explain this to you about respect. Okay, if they do something that's coonery, you can't do it and not be considered a coon yourself.
No, bro, there's something wrong with it. Listen carefully. If they become coons,
go ahead.
No, listen. I want to listen. If they become open coons, they are no longer considered black. What's wrong with your head, bro? Like, just because in your country the people that helped murder Malcolm X can walk around the street and you lot say you lot love Malcolm X, that's your business. What I'm saying to you in relation to open coons, people that walk around and very clearly are, siding with these enemies. How can you in your conscious mind consider people like that to be part of the black community? What's wrong with your head, bro? Seriously.
Because the color of his skin, because I know this. When the white man sees him, he's not going to say, well, Issa's one of the good ones. No, he's going to see him as he sees you. Okay?
Who cares what the white man thinks?
It's like, listen, though, you can't complain about his behavior if you're going to do the same thing in front of non-black people. So stop.
Bro, listen. It's like you have no brains, bro. Listen to what I'm saying.
You're not listening, though.
No. Listen. All right. Tell me the reason why. Let's look at your reasoning.
Okay, go ahead. I want you to hear. What do you think I'm saying?
Right. What you said is because white people and others would not care about his position because he's black as well as me. Therefore, we shouldn't show him that we have this big difference between us. But you are absolutely bloody wrong.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Okay, go. So I'm saying what say what you're saying. Go on.
Okay. So because Isa, the guy, the Shiite Isa, I'm sorry, Sunni Isa, you said he talks against black people, correct?
No, I said he came against me to defend his slave master.
All right. So he came against you to defend the slave master. He publicly shamed you in front of non-black people, correct?
No, shamed. He just opposed me, and I'm saying
so he went against you in front of non-black people, correct?
Yes, for a slave master, yeah.
For a slave master. All right. Yeah. So you right now saying what you're saying should not be said publicly in front of slave masters, if you get what I'm saying. Okay. So stop talking about in front of non-black people. We can have this conversation in a hangout. What you're saying, I'm not going to say it's wrong because I wasn't there. If it's not on COE, I don't.
No. You have to tell me why. Now, why? Go to why not?
Why? Because two wrongs don't make a right, bro.
Bro, but you no.
Listen, no. If he's the coon, you're putting him as the coon. All right. You cannot use the same coonery behavior to refute him. Okay. A black man kills a coon. Not a coon kills a coon.
This guy. I want you to listen carefully. You try to superimpose your religious two wrongs can't make a right garbage onto me. I want you to listen carefully. Whatever religious philosophy garbage you're trying to impose on me, I have the Quran, and I have guidance from the Quran, and that will tell me what to do and how to behave and how to judge. Nowhere on this planet am I going to take your Christian coon.
It's not a Christian coon.
You said two wrongs don't make a right. The first and foremost thing in Islam is defending yourself, bro.
I agree with you. Bro, I didn't say, I'm just simply saying, no, but you're not just a Muslim, though. You said you were pro-black. So we know that there's certain things we can't do. And if you're on code, shaming your brother publicly.
This is your opinion. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to get rid of.
Okay. So it's different in the UK for being pro-black. Give me the standards.
It's nothing, brother. What are you talking about? You agreed Malcolm X done it. Where is he from? The UK?
Okay. Bro, also, no. But here's the thing, though. That was corrected. The greatest mistake I've always debated around Elijah Muhammad was the public disagreement between. Okay, the disagreement and the public argument between Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad. That's why when Louis Farrakhan, Dr. Khalid Muhammad had a battle and they tried to exploit it. Do you know what Dr. Khalid Muhammad said?
Well, he wanted it to be private, but
it was though. Because you know who talks about it now? The five the Moors, the stoners.
They both made it public. And what you don't realize, let me correct you. Let me just give you a teaching because you don't seem to realize how things work. When the opponent does and comes out against you publicly, almost always, not all the time, because you may be able to solve the problem privately. For instance, I gave Isa many opportunities. We were still talking good after this thing. He'd done it again and he'd done it again and so on. And I've forgiven him. But then he's really gone out on a limb, bro, and just kept with the coonery, right? So what my point is to you, bro, is that when somebody's demonstrated over and over publicly that he's coming against pro-blackism, then what do you want me to do? I have to now demonstrate.
He comes against pro-blackism. I need to see that. Like he did it, or is that just on off-camera type thing?
Bro, I don't know what the hell you're listening to. I'm saying to you, no,
because he was talking. I've seen him like that video. Like he has something to say about Leo Muhammad, but then I saw a conversation between him and Leo Muhammad that I found quite pleasant. So
no, but you're just telling me about what you've seen in other instances.
That's what I'm asking you. Was it off camera?
Bro, listen carefully. I'm saying when I was talking and he came against me, yes, several times, it has been when I'm promoting the idea of black unity or black power and so on, and he's cooning for slave master.
That's all right, so what did he do that was cooning when you were speaking?
He was making excuses for his slave master, interrupting my conversation. Imagine I'm talking to somebody, they talk, I'm talking back. He's interrupting me, then accusing me of trying to embarrass this guy. Do you get what I'm saying?
Damn.
Do you understand? So I'm saying,
but how does that go? But did he detract any of your points?
bruv, you're not listening. Omar doesn't need defense. Don't you understand? Massa
Who's
is Massa.
Omar? Oh, the dude from Egypt?
Yes. How does he need defense, bruv? The man swears, he shouts. Do you know what I mean? He hit a police in the face. He don't need to eat this Kaffir coon to flipping.
Wait. Stop calling each other Kaffirs. I hate that. Stop doing that.
Bruv, stop telling me what to say, bruv. You're not. Listen, the only people that can advise me on what to say and what not to say are those that use the Quran as their judgment. No, I'm saying are those who come from the perspective of the Quran. Because every time you're using your experimentation where you're still searching, yeah. If I listen to your experiment and then you say, "Oh, I was wrong back then," what kind of retard would I be? I'm saying I put in hours and hours and hours of effort to study, bruv. You get me? Before I knew, this was the first. I was like, I need to make sure that before any serious situation happens, and the day of judgment, because it was supposed to be the year 2000, then it was supposed to be 2012 and 2013. I studied so much to make sure before these big days of judgment come, I know what's what. This is why there isn't a subject regarding these things that I can't speak on, bro, because I made sure I had it under my belt. At least I could say to Allah, even if I got it wrong, look at the background of my study. I've demonstrated that I tried to look for the truth, and you can't blame me if I got it wrong. Do you get what I'm saying?
All right, bro. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, man. I just, I'm saying, like, it just, we need, if I get it, I get you, bro. I get you. I ain't
This
even
clown
trying
said
to.
I ran to Tommy Robinson. Yeah, no, I didn't run to Tommy Robinson. I went to Tommy Robinson and I said, "Oi, Isa." I literally sang a song about myself, but not just that. Obviously, I'm making sure that people know that Isa's coon religion is not Islam. But yeah, let him get on with it, bro. The guy agreed to a debate, then he don't agree. He's making excuses. What kind of guy comes in the comments and starts chatting nonsense? But this is the nature. Anyway, Brad, you're going to learn for yourself. At the end of the day, a lot of you that defend these clowns, you end up learning and you come back to me and then you say, you know what, you're right. If you know the amount of these guys that used to defend these clowns.
No. Isa, remember you told me. Remember I told you when we was talking about pro-blackness and Islam, it was your job to point out who the coon was and who wasn't. So I'm not going I'm not going to speak against you. You the brother, I'm just saying,
I hear that, my bro. I think, you know what, Ahmed is somebody who I think when he's talking calmly, you could learn a lot from. Because the Quranic position is probably a good transition before you get to true Islam, because you sort of like you go 180 degrees against hadith, and then you come to a neutral balance of, rather than just rejecting them outright, you have a strict criteria for accepting them, which is what I have. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I guess.
it is bruv, you don't even realize, in a lot of the Sunni brain, the hadith has more authority in their head than the Quran. That's how bad it is. That
So let me ask you a question.
Ahmed wouldn't even
as a Muslim of the Quran, how do you see Leo Muhammad? Do you see him as a Muslim or the Nation of Islam?
I mean, no, it's not that. I don't declare kafir on them. I just see them as a Black Power movement, and that's it. I don't try to go around and classify Muslim kafir. So when they give me salam, I give them salam. They're my brothers, and that's it. Do you get what I'm saying? Right. Not really, it's not something I do. So I support them like my brothers. Like, bro, I have Sunni brethren, close Sunni people that I deal with. So it's just that, they know they can't refute me. We don't really get into those discussions. Do you get what I'm saying? So my point is, those people who are dedicated trying to attack what we're on, whether that be verbally or physically, etc., I'm entitled to defend myself. So at the end of the day, Sunniism has dedicated a lot of time to propaganda against us, to say that we're the deviant. You got this Sunni pagan in the comments calling us pagans and so on, but he's not willing to debate the thing. What kind of clown is that? You just want to sit in the comments and go on YouTube and chat rubbish, but you're not being a man to come and debate the thing or discuss it. This is what I'm saying. This makes them a bunch of clowns, man. Trust me, you really see how this stuff works when if you were in, if you was in the community, if you converted to Sunniism or Shiism, you would see it for yourself and you wouldn't need to ask any questions. You just need to go. I'm
gonna be a Quranist, bro. Shout out to the Quranist.
Try that, bro. Even that, bro. Trust me. Be a Quranist.
He was just calmly tearing you apart. No, I'm joking.
But listen to what I'm saying. Be a Quranist, right? And then see how you're treated by the Sunnis after that, bro. You'll really learn something. You get what I'm saying?
So how would I be treated by the Shiites though? That's the question.
The Shias, in general, they have this kind of welcoming, accepting thing that everyone's on their own journey. So, but it doesn't make sense to be a Shia and a Quranist. Like we don't treat Hadith as though it's above the Quran. It's only that's the reason why Quranist sect came up in the first place, bro. Is because the Sunnis were taking the Hadith to be superior to Quran. So as a rebellion, they just threw the baby out with the bathwater. You get me? So that's where you can't really have that. Doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I hear you, my brother.
So this is just I'm just learning because I learned a lot from this dude. You know, 'cause I every time with you, you know, you just so focused on disproving the Sunnis. I don't be learning nothing.
No, well, that's what you think. No, you think you haven't learned a lot. I mean,
bro, you got to be real. I'm gonna be real. On the outside looking in, as a pagan myself, I'm gonna just be real. Okay, both sides make very compelling arguments. Because even that time you talked about with Zubaydah and her husband, yo, man, you know, even though I ride for my black people, so you know, I had a bias. You know, you was first, bro. Man, you know,
but
some points there. You know, I couldn't like there was some things that sound reasonable. You know, they speak the language.
Brother, see my point. See my point. You are so coonerized that just because they speak the language, listen, brother, wait to listen. Listen to what I'm saying. That just because they speak the language, your head switches off logic and it goes all melty and emotional towards them. The very thing I asked that I pointed out was the meaning of the word sagat, and they went to modern day Google Translate, bruv. They got it wrong, fam. Their whole argument dropped on one word, but because you obviously don't know how it works, then you just because they respond, you have to remember Zubaydah has these two have no knowledge in this thing. But anyway, let's leave that. I have to eat. My food is ready apparently. Yeah, so watch out for Ziriyab getting that work very soon, inshallah. That's what the show's called. Yeah, let's see how it goes, man.
Hey, wait. Before you run off, the Sunni Isa. Hey, Sunni Isa, are you from Ghana?
Yeah, I think so.
How he is?
Yeah, I think so. He has a affiliation with a
no,
Ghana
he said
background.
he's from Ghana. He's from he said his tribe sold black people into
Oh,
slavery.
what is your ethnic group, my brother? Because my mother's side is Asante, so I just want to know. Well, you know, because I don't like speaking against my
stay on, but I'm gonna mute. I'm gonna stay on, but I'm gonna mute. Big up, brothers. Latest.
Yeah, I've heard him say something about Ashanti. So.
Oh, he's an Ashanti. What's up, my clansman?
Not me. I'm Nigerian.
Oh no, I know, not you. I'm like speaking to the chat because you know.
Oh, okay.
StreamYard can be slow, so I don't know if he's even typing. I just don't understand this. You know, like the beefs. You know, I don't like the beef between everybody. You know, like this thing shouldn't divide black people. Wait, let me ask you a question though, Malik. You're in America. Right. Do you feel that divide between? Because I've never seen Sunnis and Shiite people fight like that before in my life.
You know what it is?
What?
It's something that has to do with knowledge and ignorance and a whole bunch of political. It's a whole bunch of stuff. Trust me.
You think because the Arabs? Because I know from like down here in DC, you find like full mosque of just black people. You know, you don't see a lot of integrated mosque here, and you know they have their disagreements, but they're not really like you know. I've never seen like I've gone to like events, you know, to support the community because I always go to their shops and stuff like that, you know, to support my community. You know, I never heard like arguments like this though. You know what I mean?
Because over here it's the Islamic culture is not really dominant over here in the West. But when you talk about Saudi Arabia, you talk about you talk about Mecca, you talk about where everybody go to pray. So it's more concentrated.
No, I'm talking about the UK.
Here.
Like, why does it seem like these are two black brothers? These are two black men that because different sects of the same house, they like are violently going against each other. And it's like white people don't see y'all any different. So why do y'all see each other different? You know?
I personally, I don't. I used to be like I said, I used to be a Christian, and I
Yeah.
became a Sunni. But watching Speaker's Corner, watching the arguments made me become a Shia because they make more sense than the Sunni people. But the
Yeah.
Sunni people, they're still my brother. Trust me, I don't discriminate between anybody, and I always say it. I don't. I believe everybody got their own time for knowledge, and like sometimes you don't become matured enough to understand certain things until you are a certain age, or sometimes it
Yeah.
just come to you like that. So I
Yeah.
don't really, I'm not the hardcore Shia. I believe in everybody. I don't even believe in religion. I believe in humanity. I believe in doing good. And I always tell people that over here in America, we have people who don't even have a religion, but they do better than people who got religion. Say, for instance, when you're watching the news, you always see people donating bloods and organs and paying for people's tuition and all that stuff. But you would never
Yeah.
see a Christian or a Muslim in the news saying they just saved somebody off of death or something. So
That's true.
religion, yeah, but I don't. I just see. That's why I told you. Sometimes it depends on how you grow into maturity of a situation. Like me, I've been through all that, arguing with people and trying to be calling people kafir and all of that. Because even my uncle told me, he said, "Listen, why don't you leave Abu Bakr and all of them alone? On the day of
Yeah.
judgment, Allah is not going to ask you about them. He's going to ask you about what did you do with your life." And when I thought about it, I said, that's a fact though. And
By
I
the way,
always,
I just want to let you know you're losing your African accent. You're starting to develop. I can hear the New Yorker accent coming out of you very slowly. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm from, I've been here for a little bit, so I'm just trying to
yeah,
cope
you're
with
gonna be walking around with
yeah.
Tim soon, bro. I can see it. I can see it.
Trust me, I dress like I dress like us, but
Yeah,
I'm very, very I'm not too religious.
yeah, I
I'm
feel
just
you.
neutral, yeah. Because once you start being too religious, trust me, that's when you start seeing other people as shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I just try to take it normal, and I was that's what I said 2 days ago or yesterday. I said, listen, man, when we start interpreting the Quran or the Bible in such a hardcore way, trust me, we will always have differences. But if we interpret it in a merciful way, then we all could come together and understand our differences.
yeah, man.
But the way Sunni and Shia, I just see them, fighting, and you have hardcore Sunnis and hardcore Shias, and the way they point at each other is just sometimes it's arrogance, and sometimes it's ignorance, and sometimes it's just political. But from the way I see it, trust me, most of everything you see Sunni and Shia do is political.
Yeah, man. That's something. This is because you want to learn. I like as I read the Quran. It's a very beautiful book. I'm not gonna lie. Like
It's it's
I
the
don't.
it's the it's the best thing that ever happened to humanity. And when you
Yeah,
read it with not being biased, like if you read the Quran with an open heart, trust me, one day you will find the truth, and eventually you probably end up being a Shia. Cause
yeah. That's what changed my perception. Because at first I was making. I don't know if you know who Sarah is. Sarah Garvey.
yeah,
Yeah, he
I
has these
think it's
videos called Islam Heart Black People. And he just like, so you see the different things, something like, all right, that's the religion. But then when you learn about it, you realize that, like, yo, the prophet probably would have popped off on some of these people doing this stuff. You know what I mean? He wouldn't have. So
right.
and I was going into it so ignorantly. So I was like, oh, Islamophobic. Then I changed, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
open to it.
It's always the way you see people interpret a book. Even the Christians, trust me.
Yeah.
If you look at them, you have good people, good Christians, bad Christians. That's the difference between religion and people. But when you get the information from hardcore people, that's when you become like even the extremists. It's like, okay, let me give you a perfect example. If you have a class, and then the way you teach a student is the hardcore way. Trust me, 9 out of 10 times they will always go by how you teach, and your character will always reflect on them. But if you
Yeah.
look at the other class that they do everything easy and merciful and all that way, you would there's a tendency also for the people in the class to follow the way they have been taught. So if you're seeing a Christian saying, "Oh, the Muslims are pagans," and they start labeling each other, trust me, a
Yeah.
lot of people, and that's what I tell people. We are over here dealing about who's a Shia, who's a Sunni, who's a Jew, but in the real sense, religion is on the decline.
It is, especially in
Yeah,
America. Well,
exactly.
actually, though, I see
Trust me, it's
something
everywhere.
scary going on in America, though, bro. There's like this church that's rising where they have like an AR-15, and it's like a guy. It's like you've heard of the Moonies?
No.
Okay, so the Moonies was a cult that was started by this Korean people, and Sun Young Moon, that was his name. And they're starting to now work their way into Christianity. So you start to see people advocate for themselves because there's a town. I don't know if you heard of Durb. I think it's Durb, which is like
Right.
like a strong Muslim town in
Right.
Michigan. And there's one I think in like the Midwest too. And you see like a lot of talks from like pastors because my father's part of AME Zion. And the last time I heard a meeting they had, they were talking about the only part of Islam everyone seems to be cool with in America is the Nation of Islam amongst Black people. Because Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he was more about the building of the people. So
Right.
he never like shamed Black Christians. He was more like we need to work with these people.
Yeah. It's
There's this like very aggressive take. Like you have man, I don't know if you've been looking at the news lately, but you heard about that stabbing in
yeah.
recently with the
Yeah,
Hebrew.
I was about to ask you, are you saying it's a cool thing to bring weapons to guard the prayer houses?
Oh yeah, after what happened in South Carolina, hell yeah.
Yeah, I support you too.
Like my father hates the fact I say that. I'm like, yeah, we need to defend the church. We gonna
We
have to
need to
talk about
it's not about the church. We need to defend our prayer houses because that's
yeah,
the most targeted places right now. It's basically everywhere. We need to just be vigilant.
yeah. That's what I was simply just speaking from the church perspective, but no, man, we need to son. What? Peter,
Listen,
on
man,
the
if
last moments Jesus was on the earth, before he got arrested and things like that, Peter had a sword with him, chopped the man's ear. The people ain't foolish. There's an Old Testament for a reason. My only
yeah,
is evangelicals can be cruel. So like, if it meant like I have churches where I've seen white people celebrate the fact that like Mexican kids were being put in cages and stuff. So there's a very dark change happening within the church. Very scary. Not gonna lie. Like the old days of just praying in tongues and laying on hands. They're getting militant really fast.
yeah, I think what I believe is I know definitely it's always gonna lead to something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
always
your Second Amendment rights to own any gun you like. I mean, not any. You have to have like a semi-automatic, but there's a way you can rig it automatic. The bump stock isn't it, but there's ways you take a gunsmithing class, you can do that. How to like rig it, but no, you have a right to own military tech. And I have two AR-15s and one A10, so it's what it is. Got a drum mag for Christmas.
what you got in the church.
No, it's for family protection and whatnot.
Protection. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. You're allowed to protect yourself, man. I don't know. I'll tell people if you want to protect yourself in any way and form, it's
yeah.
normal. Because you can't bring a gun. You can't bring a knife to a gunfight, right?
Nope.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
you being the one who's on the defensive, you would want to have a weapon that would suppress your opponent, the one who's attacking.
yeah,
So I don't blame people for in any way or form trying to defend themselves. Is normal, is natural.
yeah. The non-debating going. What's up, Shaka? Hmm. Let me ask you a question. Do you have any stance on Pan-Africanism? I've never even asked you that.
Do I believe in it?
Like, do you have any like anything you can contribute to making our people better as a collective? Outside the religion, of course. I don't want to put your
Yeah,
religion
yeah,
in that position.
yeah. I know. Like I said, the only thing I know about this world is being controlled about. It's being controlled by certain people who are not religious people,
Yeah.
and then no matter how they still exist, and we as black people or somebody, some figure that would challenge them, if that person is not available, trust me. That's why I was trying to ask Shaka. He said it's a movement that one day definitely would succeed, and I see it succeeding, but I just don't see how, at this point, I don't see how it's going to work. As long as we have nobody to challenge the top powers, I don't see it working.
Well, sometimes you don't really need to do all that. You just really need the people, because there's enablers. There are people that do enable the thing where they're
If
like,
you if you have the people behind you,
yeah,
the people in power will always pay them off.
that's true. That is true. But
Because once you have a rep that would either talk to the rich people or the people in power, they could buy them off, and then he goes back to his people and tell them, okay, we're gonna chill for a minute or whatever, and at the end of the day, nothing will be accomplished. That's why the only thing I said was the only way that I think is just to keep preaching about oneness of the people, oneness
mm,
of the world. Yeah, if we keep seeing each other as Muslim, Christian, Jew, and all of that, and not talking about how to make the world a better place, trust me, I don't see how even Pan Africanism would work.
well, no, according to your faith, if you were to post it, the perfect example of a Muslim is supposed to be the Prophet Muhammad, correct?
Right?
So, who was the first people he saved? He went
Um, hi-
right?
History wise, I'm not too clear on when you say who was the first people he saved. How do you mean?
Like, okay, he got the salvation, correct?
Yeah, he's an
Who was the first
Arabian, so
people he gave that
definitely
salvation to?
it has to be the people around him.
All right. So, since that's the model,
Right.
would you think your first allegiance, well, excuse me, of course, your first allegiance should be to your personal family, then your neighbor. Then after that, it wouldn't it be like the Yoruba people as well, no, Odu State, and then after that, wouldn't it be the wouldn't it be the Yoruba as a collective, and
Well,
then
if I'm
you know
not
what I mean?
over there, how can I?
Oh no, no, I'm talking like in the diaspora. You know what I mean? Because I'm not over there. But, I stand up for. I would definitely put my like. That's the thing. I always say the worst mistake I have from learning my own culture was I don't see. I'm starting to become very tribalistic. It's like outside of West Africa, I really don't have much concern. I kind of want to see my region improve. You know what I mean? So I won't deny that. But don't you think according to the Quran, shouldn't you kind of focus inland, inward into the people that are closely related to you?
No, I don't think so. It
I
just
ask
said
you
be
that
good. No, it just says be good to people. Everybody is your people. Whoever's around you is your first. Those are your first people.
okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no, no.
like
I wasn't trying
basically,
to
if
box
you
you into anything. I was just asking.
no. That's what I'm trying to clarify. Like it people think, oh, if I'm Yoruba or if I have to do something, I got to go back home or go around my
Yeah,
community, go around my community in Brooklyn and start looking for my people. No, I look out for my neighbor. I look out for my block. I look out for my hood, and I look out for my nation. That's
yeah.
how it goes.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not saying because I'm Muslim, then I have to support everything that Iran or Saudi Arabia does. No, if they trying to fight us over here in an unjust way, then I have to fight them.
Yeah, respect.
Yeah, yeah. That's how. Trust me.
Just let
If
me ask
you
the
go,
G block question. If you had to choose between Yoruba land, no, sorry, Odu State or Saudi Arabia or Mecca and Medina, who do you protect first?
I will protect whoever's on the right. I'm not a bias, but yeah, I would.
I'm not even gonna say you dance. That was a good answer. I'm not even gonna say you dance. That was a good answer. I'm not gonna fake.
Nah, I'm straight up. I don't support people when they are wrong. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right.
Damn, I like that.
I always try to curb my arrogance, and that's why when I was a Christian, I listened to everybody. Even
Yeah,
me being a Shia, trust me, I always tell people, if an atheist tells me something good, it's from
yeah.
God. Everything good is from, it's a revelation. It don't have to be in the Quran. It don't have to be in the Bible. Once you tell me, listen, man, I got money, let's go eat, I follow you. You understand?
Mm.
You don't have to. Yeah, that's how I see religion, and that's how it works. But once you start trying to say, oh, this is not my people, and it'll never. Trust me, on the day of judgment, a lot of people will be in trouble because we people are making the same mistake that the devil made, which is arrogance. It says bow down to Adam. He said, oh, but I'm better than him. I'm this and I'm that. What makes you better than the midget?
Mm.
I don't see myself better than anybody, man. I just say, let's all try to save humanity from because otherwise we're not gonna be here, and then the next generation is gonna suffer the same mistakes we've been making. They're gonna make the same mistake until there's no more religion in the world.
So you would fight against like racism, but as soon as black people are racist to another people, you would fight against
I I
that.
can't I can't fight against racism because I'm not racist, and racism is not in my dictionary. I see
No, but I'm
everybody
saying
as
that like you see black people being mistreated, you would stand up for black people. But once black people start doing the mistreatment, then you would stand up as black.
back off. Yes, yes, yes,
Okay, okay.
yes.
No, no,
I
I like
I
that.
will.
Because I'm
It's
definitely more of a, I'm biased, so I'm definitely going to say, all right, if I had to choose
so nah.
between my people and everybody else, bun everybody else, it's my people. So, I like the different opinions.
But that's the thing though, because somebody asked me, he said the same people who hate the white people or whatever, if the white person gives you $50,000, would you take it? Yeah. But at the end of the day, you get on the media or whatever and start speaking ill about them. But you just took 50,000 off a white man. Same thing with a white man too. If a black man gives you $50,000, you take it. But now you want to talk about black people is nothing or whatever. It doesn't work that way. We see the same sun, we bleed the same blood. So I'm not saying it's something good to be different. It's good to follow your people and enjoy your people. But at the same time, we should understand to learn from our differences. And until we can learn from our differences, then trust me, whoever got more power, more money, more fame, more political stance will always win.
Mm, that's a very fair assessment. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's just like how men, oppress women, and then they want to get on the pulpit and talk about, oh, the prophet did this, he did that. But you and your family, you don't help your wife, you don't do nothing at home. You want to act like because you a preacher or a sheikh or whatever. Man, trust me, man. There's a whole bunch of BS in this world that when you look at it, it's just good to sit back and be you, be good, being an atheist or Muslim or Christian, just be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's about to be a it's about to be a collision between good and evil, and there's nothing nobody could do to it.
Yeah.
It's
What
going
what made you leave Christianity?
most of my friends are Muslims, so I just all every day we argue, and I try to make sense out of. I just don't argue or listen to people argue just for the sake of argument. I try to make points from both sides and see what logic comes out of both sides. And every
Yeah.
time I debate with them, I notice that, yo, wait a minute. It's every time it's something better than me. It's something better than. So I go back and start reading books, and just like me and Esau, we have similarities in our history. So I became a and most people when they become a Muslim, they become the Sunni Islam because that's like the dominant the majority of people in the world is like Sunni. So that's a tendency for you to become a Sunni if you become a Muslim. So I became a Sunni, and I never heard about Shia until about 5 6 years ago, basically 5 years ago. I heard something about Iran and Saudi Arabia was about to fight, and Sunni and Shia, blah blah blah. So I said, wait a minute. So my religion has a whole bunch of sects that I don't even know about. So I said, okay, Google time, YouTube time. So I started researching, and I was watching Speakers Corner, and I'm like, yo, the same people that they call pagan and they condemn them, they make more sense than you. So I started researching. Yeah, I started watching more Speakers Corner, and at the end of the day, I felt like, you know what, I don't got time for like me doing something that don't benefit me, or like I'm trying to be ignorant or arrogant over the truth. So I just felt, they make more sense. And I've been to their masjid before, and I seen the way they're civilized with each other is more it's more human than the way the Sunnis interact with each other.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
So
All right.
and lately I came up with a question that I always wanted to ask the Sunni people about: if you was the prophet before you die, would you appoint a successor, or would you just leave it to the people? Because that's the major split between the Sunnis and the Shias. One says the prophet died without, definite appointment of somebody, and then the other says yes, it did, and this is the norm of other prophets before him, from Adam to him. And I'm like, yeah, that does make sense. So the split is, did he do it or did he not do it? So when you ask a Sunni, if you was the prophet, would you choose somebody to lead the Muslims after you? They will never give you a straight answer. They gonna be I'm not the prophet, or he did this, he did that, blah blah blah. But when you ask a non-Muslim or Christian or Shia, they tell you straight up yes, because that's logic.
Yeah.
It's like you haven't. And then when you, it's like, okay, let me say another thing. When they say, oh, because the Sunnis, they follow the companions, and the Shias, they follow his family. And I asked them, when the prophet is, when he's sleeping at night, or when he's doing certain things at night, do the companions, do they sleep in his house to know what he is doing? Like, if you have to catch a thief, you have to go to his house or his people to catch him. And if you have to find, the how they say, you basically, you're going back to the roots of something, right? If you have to look for the fact, you go back to the roots, right? So
Yeah.
if I have to make a history about you, or a story about you, would I go to your friend, or would I go to the one that knows you better, which is your family? So when I started hearing about this argument, I felt like, every time you ask the Sunni if you was the prophet, would you choose a successor after you? Trust me, you can always ask them that question, and then you see what they're going to tell you. They will never give you a straight up answer like nope or yes. 9 out of 10 times, they're going to start explaining things that don't even, I don't know.
Damn. So I've never heard these. I like these different perceptions thing, because I'm not a Muslim, so I like to learn. So it's good to hear this from other.
Trust me, I'm not a scholar. I'm nothing, but you will
You are
never tell
extremely
me.
humble for a Yoruba man, though. I ain't gonna lie. Like, you know, I heard humble. I heard humility is one of our weakest, one of our weakest traits.
Well, if you're not humble, then the world will humble you.
That is true. That is true. I
Yeah,
lost
that's
my
how I
first
see it.
harvest. When I lost my first harvest, man, that was like $1,200 down the drain. That humbled me. I ain't gonna fake.
So I don't know, man. I used to be a Sunni also, but when you look at the Shia, everything they say, everything, if you take deep look in it, it's always making more sense for the humanity than you just being a Sunni and then be one sided.
Yeah.
trust me, Shia people, they support everything. They support you being a Christian, Jew, anything. But the soon is they quick to label people, and if you label people and you don't have tolerance for people, trust me, then you need to be checked out.
So you don't have any problem with African spiritual systems, do you?
Spiritual, no. The only thing I would say about spirit, that is you have to be a good person, and then whatever you do behind that has to be helping your community. But the way that we it's just like religion. People compare people with religion, but no religion says kill or steal or destroy. Same
That's
thing with
true.
those who practice voodoo or whatever. They are just spiritual people who's trying to get to their creator in the way that they understand it. Even though it's wrong, I still don't condemn everything they do. As long as you don't make something to hurt your neighbor or another person, trust me. And you know what's funny though?
What?
Even we Christians and Muslims, we still go back to the spiritual people when our books when we,
Yo, I was
when
on
we,
a plane. I was on a plane, and I'm not lying to you. This is the funniest story.
yeah, you got
I was on
epilepsy in
a
the plane and all of that, and you look and you
Yo, I
trying to
was
look
on the
for somebody
plane,
to pray
bro,
for you.
and you hear all these Nigerians, oh Jesus, oh Baba, oh Jesus. I swear to the Most High that when the plane kept shaking after all that prayer, I swear I heard a lamb die, bro. I swear I heard somebody say "Bah" in the back, and the turbulence stopped. Next thing you know, a chief walks in, sits down. I was like, oh, okay. So I think this thing is just more of an. I think like these Abrahamic faiths are more just like something we adapted to. I think we know who we are on the inside. Like I think we know because I listen to the Ife Oya sometimes, and he always says, "Be the best Yoruba Muslim in the world," but know that before that there was a Dudawa, Shango. You know what I mean? So
Right. And if and
I don't usually trip on it no more. There are
if
some Yoruba
you
Muslims though that would talk down, but you know, not all of them.
if you look in the people who worship Shango and all of that, not all of them is bad people. You have
Yeah, some of them are
exactly.
crafty. Let's not fake.
Yeah. Some of them, they when you see them, your spirit will tell you this person is not a bad person. And then you
Yeah,
have some of them when you see them, oh man, your spirit will tell you, man, I need to get away from this person. Otherwise
yeah,
I'll be chicken soup. So I don't condemn nobody, and I don't try to label nobody as you this or that, because this is what I tell people. If you find a certain sect of people that say, oh, it's only we that would represent paradise, trust me, don't even listen to such people, man. They will
yeah,
misguide you. But if you see a certain people that says, man, we're on the right path, but you have some people also, they do their thing. I'm not God, but yeah, as long as they do something good and they believe in God, I'm not the one to judge them. Because me, I don't believe only Christians or Muslims or Jewish people will go to paradise. I believe in certain people who's not religious. They cool people. So why would you condemn them to hell?
yeah, yeah. Because I'm not gonna lie, like I've heard some people tell me like, oh, you know, you're gonna burn in hellfire, you're gonna burn in hellfire.
Yeah, right.
Oh, like we like, you know, and this is just me after learning my culture. Like, our ancestors danced in fire. You think, you know, fire's gonna be something you think fire's gonna scare us? You know, goodness.
The the only thing I know about, that is not really good for people is still arrogance. That is really, really, really in almost everybody.
Yeah,
And then what I'm trying to say about that is, say for instance, I show you the truth, I tell you the truth, I've given you everything that could prove to you that this is true, and then you yourself have basically your heart tells you, man, I'm wrong and he's right. But you want to die in your rage, trust me, it's going to be a problem on the day of judgment, because Allah will ask you, or your creator is going to ask you, why didn't you listen to the truth? And when you was told the truth and your heart tells you this is the truth, what made you not follow it? So don't think it's only Muslims. Muslims not gonna go to hell. Trust me. Every sect will go to hell, and every sect will go to paradise, depending on your arrogance.
Yeah, but we don't have a concept. But if you look at Ifa, there's no concept of a Satan. And if don't say Esu Satan, he's not Satan. But no concept in African spiritual systems, there's no concept of a Satan or a hell to be real. It's more like, this was your life this time, you come back as something else, kind of
Mm,
a form of reincarnation, I guess you could say. Like I
Um,
don't, you know, that's
I'm
why I
not too.
usually go ahead.
I'm not too sure about that, but I know for sure, no matter what culture you come from, it's always good and evil. It's always
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah. I get
supreme
that. But it
being.
seemed like in African spiritual systems, it seems like good and evil is you. You can only do good and evil. Like I was learning about the different cults that was around the time of the empire.
Right,
There was one that was dedicated to Oya. And Oya would like these women would walk around and they would just solely without a doubt, unapologetically defend the women of the empire. So if like women were being mistreated, that was an issue. And
right,
it's something that I feel that's lacking today.
right.
It's like it used to be like the taboos that we used to have in the empire. It was like no trash, no poverty. These were taboos. These were cultural taboos for us.
Right.
It just seems like today when these Abrahamic faiths came in, the responsibility of our actions kind of went to Satan or Satan, and like, yo, will we, you know, actually, I take that back because when
That's
it
that's what I was
seems
about to
like
tell
you
you.
guys don't blame. It seems like
I
Muslims don't blame Satan for their issues, or like they did it.
Why not?
Yeah. So I don't want to put that wholly on the Muslims because I feel like Islam has been there longer. So I feel like it's kind of been Africanized a bit.
No, before Islam has been paganism. Paganism has always been in existence.
Yeah, but can we be real though? Paganism. I mean, there was some sections of it that was wrong. That was the human sacrifice aspects during times of war and things like that. But
Right.
there was never a time you're going to see like a bubble, a priest come out and say, "Oh, by the way, Ogun told me that we just need to enslave all the Fulani." You have the doctrine of discovery. You have the curse of Ham. These things put my people in my sect in the chains and sent us to the Americas. You know what I mean? Like, that's what these religions did. So I can never hide that piece. But you never see African spiritual systems saying that it's acceptable to enslave people because they exist under this particular doctrine.
Slavery, I don't know about slavery much, but I know it's just greed and people in power. Even if you have money than your neighbor, you might have a way or form of enslaving them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people being sold is just something that happened, and it's been
Yeah, but there
happening in
was like a
history.
religious doctrine, especially you have the doctrine of discovery that the Christians put together, where they and I think okay, I've heard some Pan Africanists argue that there was some contribution Islam played to the transatlantic slave trade in regards to the curse
It
of
ain't.
Ham.
It doesn't have nothing to do with religion. It's just
Yeah,
people who's backed by some type of religious thing going into Africa to enslave people. Christians could enslave anybody. Muslims could enslave anybody. Jewish people could do the same thing. It depends on your power.
yeah,
Yeah, it has nothing to do with religion because no religion says hurt your fellow man or nobody. So
that's true. That's true. Can't argue that.
yeah, and then that's how they're gonna come to you. They will not come to you as being pagans. They come to you as being what they are.
Yeah, I just don't like the term. Like, I just don't like the term when we call our systems. We kind of like I prefer to say like I would never call Islam a pagan religion. I would, but like when I hear some Muslims refer to African spiritual systems as pagan, like
It's
there's a
it's
negative connotation that comes with it.
it's called paganism because they worship something other than Allah.
Yeah, but you see how like you get what I'm saying. How in like some aspects it can be seen as a negative. You know.
When you as a pagan, when you do certain things as pagan in paganism, then it makes you on the wrong path. Say for
Yeah.
instance, if I'm a pagan and I don't worship nothing but I just believe that there's a creator who created me, then and I'm doing good things. I respect people, help people, and all of that. Then you can't judge me over being a pagan, because if you say I'm a pagan, I say yeah, I'm a pagan, but I believe in a creator. So it's two. I think it's two sets of paganism. One is those who ascribe or worship certain things, and then the other one is just, all right, I'm not gonna worship nothing, but I just believe, the existence of just like the name for Allah in the Ifa, they call it Shango or Ifa or something like that.
Or Olaroon, yeah.
Yeah, so every tribe and every language has their own interpretation of calling God, either a creator or Allah, or whatever language they speak in.
Yeah.
So when you say Allah, it's just Arabic. And me personally, I like to say creator, because when you say creator, it helps people to kind of be on a neutral and try to understand where you're coming from. But when you say Allah or God, they think, oh, you either a Christian, you trying to bring me into Christianity, or you say Allah, they say, oh, you're trying to bring me into being a Muslim. No, when you say creator, then it's still the same thing. God is the
Don't you feel
creator.
though that like your cult, like okay, with Islam comes a language, comes another culture. Wouldn't you
Right.
to be? Could you pray in Yoruba? Like, wouldn't you want to be able to pray in your native tongue?
Yes, you can, but when it comes to the like the ritual prayer, then
Yeah,
we have to be united. But
I understand that.
somebody asked me a question similar to what you asked, that
Yeah,
if can you pray in your language if you don't understand Arabic? And I said it's two answers that I could give. It's a yes and a no. The yes is if you're secluded from information, then you could pray in your language. But if you have any information on how to pray in the right way, then you definitely have to unite with your fellow Muslims.
you don't dress like an Arab dude, do you?
Nah, I don't follow
Yeah.
that culture. I don't pull culture aside of religion.
You
Both
know,
of them
you
go.
get what I'm saying though, because like a lot of our people, whenever we find like a religion outside of it, we just
That's what I'm saying. I do not. I dress like everybody. Today I dress Yoruba. Tomorrow I dress like Hausa, and then next week I put my street, outfit on. So I don't say you have to dress kufi, because I know the people from the Arabians, they will never dress like us, and we will never dress like them, and they will never dress like the Africans. So religion and culture go hand in hand. But the
yeah.
only time that culture might be wrong if when you do something in your culture that is immoral. Say for instance, in our culture in the West, you have women who kind of dress awkward when it comes to summertime and all of that.
You called it
So
awkward, bro. It's called a
yeah,
fake dress, brother.
it's a culture. It's a
Yeah,
culture. But the only thing why it contradicts religion is because when you dress that way, then I'm looking at your girlfriend and I'm lost. You're looking at my girlfriend and you lost. So it does contradict religion. But when you look at the way the other side of how we dress, like we could put in the wintertime, we get bundled up. So
yeah,
you're not gonna compare people in Africa who basically, like in Nigeria, we don't got no wintertime. It's always summertime. So
yeah,
the way the people in Nigeria would dress is always going to be different from the way we dress over here. But people want to say, "Oh, you can't put on a coat. It's made by somebody who worship the devil." That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. It's culture, and it doesn't contradict my religion because I'm covered.
Yeah.
Is another thing is the tight pants that men put on. I would
Yeah,
say
I don't bang with that. I don't bang with that.
the only reason why I don't go with that is because when you start showing your hood and your tight pants and other women to see it, trust me, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
It's it's also like when certain people say, "Oh, women they can put on trousers." Yes, they can dress in trousers. They can put pants on, but you're not gonna put on a pant that is so tight and will show your cleavage and all of that. So
Yeah.
that's those are the culture that could, or those are the things in a certain culture that could contradict religion. But other than that, trust me, don't say because you was born in raised in Saudi Arabia, then everybody in the world has to dress like you. If they don't dress like you, that's haram. That's nah. I think it's going towards extremism, and it's not going to work for humanity.
Yeah.
Can I
See,
ask
I
a
like that.
question? Sorry, Brad. Can I ask a question? So then, in the Quran, it says, is it Quran or Hadith that says that you should live like the Prophet Muhammad? If you're not dressing like the Prophet Muhammad, are you still living like the Prophet Muhammad?
Yes, you are living with like you cannot live exactly like him. Let me give you an example. He dresses in a moderate form. So if I'm putting on, or basically if my girlfriend put on something like she's putting on pants and the pants is not too tight and the dress is not too tight, she's dressed moderate. So why would I say it contradicts the Quran or how the Prophet dresses? Or even me, if I'm putting on a shirt and a loose pants, it doesn't say. It just said is it's trying to say be moderate. There's a difference between you dressing like you just put on tight pants and tank top and just walk in the streets. You're kind of different than somebody who dresses moderate and who's going to work or is in the house or something. So we're not Arabians. We're not. It's not a must for us to dress like them. It's not a must for us to drink like them. It's not a must for us to eat like them. It's not a must for us to sleep like them.
So do you eat pork?
No, I don't,
Do
because
you
it
eat
says in my
shrimp?
yeah, I do. Sometimes, yeah, I do.
Do you eat lobster?
Yeah, I know where you're going. It says, certain
Yeah, because
animals
they're
you're not
filter
supposed to.
feeders. They're filter feeders, so they're not um, good for you according to what's haram and what's halal. So my thing is then if you're not fair enough, if you dress respectfully, I
Right,
can agree with that. That's cool. But if you're not 100% following in terms of your food, for
right.
example, because that's only one of the things I can think of, are you still living like the prophet?
You when you say live like is I you it's okay. Let me ask you a question. If I don't eat dates, does that mean that I'm against the prophet? Or if I
No, because
if
there's no there's it's dates aren't haram. They're not haram, so that's not that can't work. Dates are halal, so therefore you
yeah,
would be
but
able
but
to. And if you
yeah,
choose
but
not
not
to,
every
that's fine.
but everybody don't eat dates though.
Yeah, but that's fine. You don't have to eat
So
dates. But what
so
you
let
are
me
explicitly forbidden from eating are
right.
filter feeders like the lobster, shrimps, etc.
Right. So that's between you and let me give you what I'm trying to say is, say for instance, you smoke or you drink. It says don't do it, but people still do it.
Yeah, people do it,
Yeah,
but as a Muslim, you
you're
shouldn't.
not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're not supposed. Trust me, not all Muslims is perfect. Most Muslims is just human beings, and we are not perfect like the Prophet. So we have our own desires, which is either good or bad. So it doesn't depend on me trying to imitate him in everything that he does. It's not possible for me to be exactly like him.
Yeah, but there's certain things which are
It,
explicit, and it says
yeah,
you should not do it. On top
yeah.
of it,
This
you then get the health warnings about it in society. So surely these things should make it a lot easier. So then, do you drink? Can I ask?
no, I used to, but
Okay.
I don't. I
Do you
stopped
smoke?
it. I used to, and I stopped it.
You used to smoke as well, and you stopped that.
Right.
Okay, that's good. I'm not knocking you. I'm just questioning how you've gotten to the position that you are in terms of your spiritual belief. Just trying to understand it, really.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And I
You
respect that no
you
one's perfect, so no one can live
listen.
perfect.
You have Muslims who kill people, Muslims who commit adultery, Muslims who eat pork, Muslims who do a whole bunch of stuff that even atheists wouldn't do. So would you say they're not Muslims? No, they are still Muslims, but certain things they do, which is a command, and they don't follow it. But that don't put them out of the fold of Islam. When you leave Islam is when you pray to other than God, or you ascribe other than God, or you just renounce your faith. And I've seen people say, "Oh, so when you leave Islam, you get killed." No, we're not in war, and you're not trying to do treason, and you're not trying to tell other people about certain secrets or certain family, whatever, to other people, which will endanger your family or your community or your country. Then you could be a Muslim today and decide not to be tomorrow, and then come back next week, and then you could come in anytime and leave anytime.
How does that work? That's
That's
not
on
right.
you.
You can't be a Muslim. It's like being you can't be a Christian for a minute and then decide, oh, I'm not going to be a Christian anymore. Because
Why
all
not? Religion,
the faith structures are different. So
sir.
you would
Religion,
forsake one part of your belief system to go to another.
sir. Religion is by choice. It has nothing to do with nobody but you and your creator. If you decide not to obey today, that's on you. The consequences pays on you. And if you decide to obey tomorrow, the consequences still pays on you.
Well, that don't work. Like,
Yes, it does work, because you have a choice as a human being.
to
It's
turn
either
around
you
today and say, all right, today I'm gonna stop following Allah. I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna
and follow
follow
the devil and
Hinduism.
follow the okay.
Yeah, but devil is matter of perspective. So let's not put it into that type of
I'm
a
trying to
thing.
give you a worse scenario, but go
So
ahead.
if I decide to go and follow Hinduism for a
Right,
year and then come
right,
back and be like, do you know what? Nah, do you know, today I'm just sick and tired of Hinduism. I don't want to eat no more veg. I'm going to go back to Islam because it's
right,
the only thing I know.
right.
Are you still then supposed to be accepted into the fold? Are you like, would you?
So that's my question. Who is the one that is going to accept you into the fold? It is your choice. It's nobody's gonna listen. If you're in your room and you say la ilaha illallah, that's on you. And if you're in your room and you decide not to follow, that's on you. There's no force in any religion,
No, I
not
know
even
there is no
Islam.
compulsion. I know the Quran says there is no compulsion.
Even in any religion, it's not supposed to be like that. It's not only Islam. In any religion, it's not supposed to be somebody forcing you
I think
to
that
be
that
in them.
destroys the point of having a religion.
Why not?
Religion is about being secularized and contained into one pot. So
Not
to
really
then
though,
jump
isn't
to
it?
No, 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 no. That's how you see
yeah,
it.
it
Really?
is.
No, it's not.
How's it not? How is religion not that?
So what you're saying is, me being a Muslim, I have the authority to kill a Christian or an atheist.
That's not what I said at all. I just said that religion is a control stipulant.
Yo, is that Raheem?
Yeah, I was kind of
Yo, Happy New
This
Year's, bro.
Happy New Year.
I probably can you rephrase your question?
Yeah, Raheem, he's not one of those kind of Muslims, bro. It's like honestly one of the coolest Muslims I've ever met. And we both claim he's part of the Saint We family, so you know. Go easy
No,
on
no,
him.
no. I let him explain what he was trying to say.
You've said that religion is, it doesn't matter what you do, you can skip back and forth and be accepted back into the religious fold.
And I
And
was
I'm saying
asking,
that
and I
that
was
doesn't.
asking you, say
Go on.
say for instance, if you was to become a Muslim today, do you think I'm the one to endorse you or a sheikh?
No, no, it's
Exactly. That's
God.
my
It's
point.
God. It's God who endorses.
Exactly. It's between you and God. So
But if
tomorrow,
God
so
says
yes,
you can't turn around and leave, it's
where does it
against
say
the
that?
rules. I'm just as devil's advocate.
Okay,
Why?
okay.
What would? How could you be then accepted back if you've left?
So that's what I'm telling you. In the Quran, it doesn't say there's you, you could be forced into religion. It's either you accept it or don't accept it. But you cannot be forced to become something that you don't want to be. And then at the same time, look, it's like this. The same way you came into religion, it's the same way you could leave the religion. And when you leave, it's the same way you left that you could come back into the religion. And if you decide to go back and forth, that's on you. Trust me. On the day of judgment, you will be accountable for what you do.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. I hear you. No, he left. Okay, looks like everybody left. No questions from nowhere. Uh oh. Well, you could type. I'll respond then. Did you hear me? Type and I'll respond. What up, Ultra?
Yeah,